preparation and that planning part comes in. And, you know, once you find it, research it, see what you can do to get into that career, and then, you know, go for it. Which is the hardest part. Most people passion and plan, but a lot of people don't know how to pursue.
Ms. Tamika Flowers-Holland.
Thank you.
Thank
I know
you.
go on it.
It's cool. I mean, we're live. What else do you want to talk about?
I don't know. The Knicks? No, I'm sorry. The Jets, my team.
Rangers.
Oh, that's right. They are. Aren't they in the
Game 7 today.
Yeah.
They're going to be.
Oh, they're going to
After they
be
win tonight. After they win tonight.
You're off camera. We don't know who we're talking to, so we're kind of like talking to the wall right now.
So to Mr. Henry Lundqvist, only the New York Rangers.
Photographer extraordinaire who shoots all of our events.
Definitely.
One of my favorite clients.
Because I pay on time.
Yes. This is why she's one of my favorite clients.
Thank you so much again. Thank you. Okay. I hope you come to the panel even though it's for women.
Yes.
You're there, yeah,
I
okay.
will. Well, I'll be here.
I'll
be
glad.
Glad.
Are you going to be
Glad.
here?
Yeah.
Stopping for like 5 minutes?
I will try. What time is it?
Vladimir.
3 something.
No, 4:45.
Okay. All right.
Vladimir, pass me your Bible.
All right, Vladimir.
Oh,
You have Sophia here?
Sophia.
Thank you.
We were just talking outside. What's up?
So,
The last thing you want to do?
yes. Have a nice downstairs,
Look,
right?
I mean, I got how many emails did I get from you? About 4 or 5 talking
Yes,
about
throughout the
this,
week.
about today's event,
Yes.
today's conference.
Yeah,
And we were
so
just
we'll
talking
know
about
about
this conference. That just went on.
It was Lindsay Polak, who's the global spokesperson
LinkedIn.
for LinkedIn.
And how was that? I mean, she gave us a lot of insight, right?
Yes, on not being afraid to really push your potential and let people have people recognize that. She said how she got an opportunity is working with LinkedIn. It was because she went on as a speaker. She would go on panels and say, you know, I would really like to work for LinkedIn, and this is something I want to do, and I think it would be great to work with LinkedIn. And then LinkedIn started paying attention to her, and that's how she landed her job. I mean, she was really open about how she got to where she is, and the value of just allowing your presence to be known, and for people, instead of we're so used to doing our job that people, your supervisors just overlook you, and you have to be present, be where the executives are, so they know that you're here and that you want to advance.
So we were just talking outside how she was talking about not looking for a mentor, but more of a sponsor.
Yeah, it's very important, yes.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, I think a sponsor is very valuable. Even I'm looking for one. There's relevance in having a mentor, someone who can help you find those unanswered questions and help guide you to where you want to be. But sponsors are essentially, they recognize your potential and want to take you with them. And I think we each need to find that person, especially in these times. Where it's hard for you to get to where you want to be or advance to that certain place. You want somebody who recognizes your intelligence, your contribution, and says, you know what, here's some, I know something, or I know where I can place you, and or if that specific person is heading for the stars, they're going to take you with them. And I think we each need to find who that person is for you and build a relationship with them.
Absolutely. What other panels are you going to check out today?
I'm definitely, there's the current forum, which is happening with one of the development directors or design directors for Red Rooster. I forgot his name. Excuse me?
Derek Fleming.
There you go, Derek Fleming. I didn't even know he existed, so it'd be interesting to know what he does for Red Rooster and where he sees Red Rooster going. Me and my colleagues are patrons of Red Rooster. We go, it's a lot of the young professionals of Harlem who like to go hang out there and drink wine and socialize. So I think it has become sort of a little hot spot in Harlem for people to connect and see, keep up on the news in Harlem. I think it's a good spot.
And this conference today is the hot spot.
Yes, of course.
Talk to us about the importance of this conference, Rising Affluent.
Rising Affluent, I think, is incredible. I was here last year, just for young professionals across the board, across cultures, across industries, to find this a space. Because usually you have a lot of the big CEOs and honchos who have their own conferences. and we're usually not privy to those. And so as young professionals, it's important for us to be able to connect with each other and act as resources for one another, and definitely have a brain connection. A brain connection. A lot of professionals who can offer something different to your plate. And last year, I was so inspired to want to develop myself, develop what's going on right now, developing your brand, personalizing your brand. And it's really important that we work on that with each other. Some of us are kind of confused or are a little fearful about our direction, and it's good to hear about what others are saying about how they got to where they are now. It's just a lot of food for thought, but a lot of ways to connect with some brilliant people, and for people to encourage you. I think sometimes just hearing the words over and over again, like you can do this, and there are ways to go about it, I think is definitely encouraging for a lot of young professionals.
Thank you so much, Sophia.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you. And also, like let others know about New York's Young and Powerful, of which I am the current chair, and we are definitely an organization that is reaching out to young professionals throughout the city to be involved in conferences like Rising Affluent, and also act as professional resources for one another, and to be involved in the community, give back to your community. And I think there's a lot of, and how we kind of separate ourselves from a lot of young professional organizations is that we're not a particular niche to a certain culture or to a certain industry. So we speak to all industries, and as well as all cultural groups. And I think it's important to include everybody in that process so we can feed off each other.
Definitely. And when did you start this?
I started towards the summer 2011. We had launched officially in September, as there are several other city chapters in DC, Chicago, and Miami, and other places like Houston and LA. So it's a really up-and-coming national organization, but I definitely want to start building here in New York so we can be recognized as one of the foremost professional organizations for all.
All right, well, congratulations to you.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Anytime.
Yes.
All right.
Excited.
All right, guys. Cool.
Bye.
That was nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mr. Cooper.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Head honcho is in the building.
If I'd known,
One half.
I would have busted out my Mac, called my
What's
next
up,
kid. How you doing?
Michael Cooper
How's everything
of
going?
Rising Affluent.
Yes, co-founder, the lower profile
Yes.
co-founder.
Second year 2.
Yes.
How has it been so far? What are your thoughts?
I think it's amazing. I was actually looking at people's faces in the room in the panels that I've been to.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting to see facial reactions and people's expressions.
Yeah.
I think that everybody was very concentrated, which was good, because sometimes people tend to get distracted.
Yeah.
But more importantly, I got the sense that everyone that's coming here is getting a lot of value out of being here. They're getting a lot of knowledge out of being here. And as Sophia mentioned, motivation, which is ultimately one of the most important things. I think that everyone here, and most people in our generation, we aspire to greatness. We know that there's greatness within us. But I think that often you need somebody to inspire you, right? And somebody to motivate you, and somebody to show that yes, it can be done, and it's been done, and it's being done right now. So ultimately, I'm extremely happy, I have to say. I'm very, very satisfied. And everyone that I've spoken to, they've had great reactions, and they have really good things to say. So I'm very happy. And kudos to the Rising Affluent team.
Definitely. So what, I guess, took you guys and said, you know what, we need to start this conference? What was it?
What
was the trigger?
What was the trigger? Well, myself and Kyle, we been at an entrepreneurship camp here at Columbia University in 2000. And over the years, we ended up interning at the same place, and we realized that we knew a lot of people in common. So as sort of an experiment, we decided to just invite as many people as we knew to a single room, see how many people knew each other, who would connect with whom, and so on and so forth. And that was really interesting. And, I'm not going to say we were the first organization to do networking events, but I think that we definitely were one of the more active and visible groups for our cohort. People who were graduating from university '04 and up.
Right.
But eventually, that space got a bit crowded. A lot of people started doing those events, which is great. But we really try to differentiate ourselves. And what I realized quite early on is that content is very important, especially as social media at the time was still nascent in 2006, 2007.
Yeah.
Content is very important, and you can put people in a room and provide alcohol or provide different things for people to lubricate the interaction, so to speak.
Right. But are we really networking?
Exactly, and what are you networking over, and how are you starting conversations? Like we're trying to give people a reason to start conversations amongst themselves with speakers, and to also learn and internalize a lot of knowledge. So we actually came up with this idea for the conference quite a while ago, and it became actually 2 conferences. So there's the Rise and Affluent conference, which is obviously been the 2nd edition now, and we're hoping to bring this to other cities and so on as well. But there's another project or another conference that we're working on. I'm not really sure how much I should talk about it, but it's definitely going to be a little bit more different, and but similar format, similar approach, I guess.
Same mission.
Yeah. Ultimately,
Similar mission.
Yeah, I think Rise and Affluent is very much career, entrepreneurship, focus on those topics. Whereas this other conference is much broader, and we'd be basically trying to give all the young, brilliant urban minds a platform to show themselves, and to show what they're doing, because there are a lot of brilliant, driven young people out there doing great things, but they don't necessarily get the same kind of platform that we feel they deserve.
You're an entrepreneur yourself.
Yeah.
And it's not easy, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. And
I mean, they see Columbia, they see all the pretty flowers outside and all this stuff, but putting together this event,
it was a lot of work.
Work, right?
It was a lot of work, and it's particularly difficult when you do have I have a full-time job. So finding the time or making the time to do things is key. And I'm not perfect. Like, I think I have time management issues and stuff, probably like a lot of other people. But first of all, this has forced me to manage that better. Secondly, it's very rewarding. And ultimately, while I do love my job, I think that this whole experience and seeing all these people here and enjoying themselves and seeming to get a lot out of it and making new connections is special. I mean, I don't want to get all teary-eyed and stuff.
It's your moment, man. It's all good.
Yeah, I'll see you after later.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming on.
Definitely. Thanks for being here.
Anytime, man.
It's a pleasure speaking with you all.
Yeah, Wave45.tv.
Yeah.
Like Google, Rising Affluent.
Awesome.
All right. No doubt.
All right.
Do you know what panel is going on now?
Yeah, the Derek Fleming panel is going on right now. So I'm going to go over.
That's the guy from
Red Rooster.
Red Rooster.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we have to have him. Yeah.
I know it's over 100.
Nice.
It's kind of hard to take. A lot of people actually registered today.
Yeah.
So,
Nice. Very nice.
definitely. All right, I'm going to run out to see if I can cash.
Okay.
I'll see you guys later.
Okay, cool.
How many people are part of Rising Affluent right now? Is everyone here from there? The entire staff?
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
All right, then I want to try
There might be 1 or 2 people who I think had to travel or had other commitments, but in general, the team is about, let's say, there are about 8 people who are involved to different degrees.
Right, but are they all here now?
I think most of them are.
All right,
At least 6 of them are.
Because just before it's done, we'll just get a group shot of all you guys.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
We'll set it up after one of the panels.
Sounds good.
All right, bro.
All right, what's your name?
Steven Knight.
Mike.
Yeah, I'm shooting for black.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Okay, so
Adrian went to pull some more people.
we got a lot of people so far, right?
I think so.
Almost halfway there.
Healthy amount of people.
Okay.
We haven't gotten too deep into the list, but we got a lot of.
We still got to interview Sanaa Lathan.
No,
I was just telling, I see it presented. You see it?
I've already been on camera more than enough for my whole entire life.
Oh, yeah, you did get interviewed earlier?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I got interviewed. We talked about movies. We talked about Bob Marley.
Yes.
Oh, when is that thing coming out?
It's been out in select theaters
We were just talking about
And
that.
Facebook, right?
and you can I demanded it on through cable. You could like their distribution is it's available in many different places.
But I heard you could watch it through Facebook as well. No?
Maybe I don't know.
I think that's how I found out.
But yeah, I demanded it on Movies on Demand.
Is it good? I
It's-
know it's good. I know
it's
it's gonna
awesome.
be good. Yeah, I know it's
It's
gonna be
awesome.
good. I just seen clips of it.
Yeah,
I haven't
I
seen
was
It's a full length, like a good 90 minutes. So.
yeah, for sure. Maybe like an hour 45 minutes.
Okay.
I was telling them that I like reading a lot of artist biographies and stuff, and he's someone who I thought I read and saw mostly everything about, and me and my friend Marvin were saying this might be like a definitive documentary, it captures all of that and more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you gone to the museum? You've been to Jamaica?
No, I've been to Jamaica, but I haven't gone to the museum.
Yeah, I went to the museum.
Yeah,
It's
did
nice.
you?
Yeah,
Did?
it's nice. It's his house.
Yeah,
They
whole
took his
right?
house and they turned it into a museum.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty big. They take you in the backyard where they still have the bullet holes where he was shot. Well,
Really? Yeah.
Well, they have attempted assassination.
Yeah.
The bullet holes are still there. They never
Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's small. It looks small from the outside.
Yeah.
This is it. When you go inside, it's kind of big. It's
Mhm.
weird. It's like 2 levels. It's nice. They
Yeah.
show all the rooms and this is a room where he rehearsed most in. This is a room where he would sit and just relax and
Right.
smoke his
Smoke his
weed.
ganja.
Yeah. And this is the porch where he sat, and one day in the yard this is where he would kick the ball around a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
How
talk
old
about
was he
that
when
a
he
lot.
died?
Young.
30.
30s?
He wasn't 40 yet.
Yeah.
35 or 37. Mid-30s.
And didn't he have something with his?
Melanoma. He had cancer.
Cancer was killed.
It was a cancer that he sort of neglected a little bit, and
yeah.
it's,
This was like
and it
back
spread. And by the time it spread, it was
To that.
yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
this was back in the 80s and in Jamaica where everything was still rural,
Yeah.
medicine-wise. So
Yeah.
if people were coughing, they're like, oh, it'll pass in a couple of days.
Right,
Before
right.
you know it, you have 6 months to live.
Mm-hmm.
And it really just speaks to overall all of those factors play into it, but just overall men and their health is just
Key.
men are not as proactive, I feel, as women are
You
with their health.
interview this guy right here.
They're more reactive in that sense. Even just the guys in my family or my dad, it's go to the doctor, to him it's like bill. That's all he can see,
Yeah.
It's like I'm
Insurance.
Robitussin this up,
Yeah.
So it's
the
so
same way.
important. It's so important that you gotta
Prevention.
get things prevention. You gotta get in front of things and not behind it, because
I know.
Yeah.
This guy's always trying to get me on it. I'm one of those, it'll go away in a few days.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
people.
And I guess we all kind of do that to some extent, but for men especially. But yeah,
I always do that.
especially older guys like my dad. He just cracks me up. He's just like, I ain't going to the doctor.
He can barely talk.
Money.
and
He's just
stand.
like money. He just sees dollar signs like ching.
Yeah. I went to the hospital once. It was like $3,000,
Mhm.
and all they gave me was like an aspirin and a
I
plate of food. I got the bill.
And the flip side of that is me being a woman that's so paranoid. I remember I got pink eye from a coworker maybe a few years ago, and I was freaking out. I went to the emergency room or whatever. I was like, get over my eye, get over my eye. Went to the emergency room, and turns out that the form of pink eye I had,
Mm-hmm.
they couldn't give me a prescription for. There's different sorts of the bacteria, different strains.
Right.
And so I didn't actually need medicine. She's like, oh, just buy some eye drops or
Yeah.
purified water. So basically I had to pay $50 copay, waited in the emergency room for 3 hours, all for something that I went to CVS and got some over-the-counter purified water drops.
Really?
And it was basically with time it passed over a
See?
week.
Hospital.
But
See that?
I say all that to say, yes, that was an instance where I wasted money, but better safe.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're right.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd have to be shot. And even then, I'll go home, find the pliers,
Yeah.
This
pull the
guy.
cord out.
But
get
the
some
thing
thread,
for me,
some-
I was I wasn't that little kid. I feel like pink eye is something you get kindergarten. I never had it
Yeah,
before,
yeah.
so I was like, I don't want to I don't know if I'm contagious or whatever.
It is contagious, right?
Yeah.
If you rub your eye and shake somebody's hand and they rub their eye.
Well, what the doctor explained to me was depending on what strain you have, there's 2 different strains and one is contagious and one isn't. And I don't think I was contagious, which is why there was nothing for her to prescribe me. She was like...
Yeah, I know that the contagious one, it's just outbreak.
Yeah.
If you rub your hand, rub your eye, and you shake
and that's
somebody's
what
hand,
it
was.
It was a coworker of mine, but not anyone I work closely with. So it's probably just us touching the same printer, you know?
Right. You put the same sunglasses on, anything. Mm-hmm. It's like a flu. You sneeze on somebody, they got the flu.
Yeah.
I went on an interview one time.
Only on Way 45 where you
had
learn
it
health.
Yeah, I
We're talking about
shit.
health,
And you had
entertainment, relationships, everything on
You
Way
wore sunglasses?
45 today.
Huh?
You wore sunglasses?
No.
Really just went out there looking like Mike Tyson to beat you up?
I woke up.
What happened?
I had an interview the next day, a
But-
sales interview.
This is when you had what?
I had a job interview.
And you had pink eye?
I woke up with it.
Yeah, that was me. It started.
Really? That fast?
Yeah, it kind of started. I was out with some friends, and my eyes was so irritated. We were at this bar, and it happened to be a bar for whatever reason. I think because it was small, where people still allowed to smoke inside. So I thought it was cigarette smoke, and I was like, I've been around people that smoke cigarettes. It's never. It was unbearable. I just left I was like, I gotta go home, and I'm just thinking, I had an uncomfortable moment. So I went home, went to sleep, and I woke up, and my eyes were it was crusted shut, one eye. It was so I'm in the bathroom. I'm I can't open my eyes. I called my mother. I don't know what I expect her to do for hours.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And she was like, yes, you can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's exact. Parents, they're so she was just Patrice, take care of it. Just take it. Oh God. I'm in the bathroom having a meltdown. She's like, yes, you can.
That is funny.
So yeah, I had to, wipe my face and get it together. Went to emergency room. $50 later at CVS, no prescription.
Yeah.
It burns.
I'm telling you.
It's a feeling like no other.
They gave me an aspirin, hooked me up to some monitor, gave me a plate of food, and I was out the door 3 hours later. Got the bill, $3,100 some odd dollars.
What?
Exactly.
What did you have?
I had some kind of chest pain or whatever.
Well, that you can't mess around with.
And people were like, you should go because my father died or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's go. And I was like, fuck. So they dragged me there, and I was just like, all right.
But hospital aspirin ain't like normal aspirin though. You might have got the 600 milligrams.
I didn't feel anything.
So what was it? Stress? Or what?
Could have been.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Heartburn.
I got more. I surprised I didn't get a heart attack after I got that bill.
Sometimes that indigestion will take you down.
The recession is a curse, but it's also a blessing. Because I went to Mary Immaculate Hospital, and they closed down.
Ah.
No more bill.
Really?
The hospital closed down. They chased me for a while, and I was paying it back installment. And one day I just stopped getting the bill. I was like, what the hell happened? Looked it up. The hospital shut down.
Good for you, Stephen. Now.
So I got free baby aspirin and a free meal.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, prevention is important.
Prevention is key, man.
This guy's gonna live like 200 years old.
I'm going for it. I think my ginger ale.
Oh, you're gonna get a hangover.
Yeah.
It's not organic ginger ale.
No, it's
It's
not.
from the can and everything.
I imagine.
Pour it in a glass,
Years.
so it doesn't you don't get the can
if you're
contamination.
gonna have any caffeinated beverage, you might as well have ginger ale.
You know, wiggle with pink lip
Better
on
for
them
you than cola.
No, ginger ale is good.
Give you
He
that
even
when
drinks
you're
a
sick.
healthy soda.
I feel like I play safe.
Give you that when you're sick.
Yeah, stomach virus and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I drink it warm.
Girl, just drink you some ginger ale.
That's what my mother would do.
Alright.
That's what my mother would do.
Have some dry crackers and some ginger ale.
Yeah, my mother would do that. She'd come with a big ass giant bottle of.
It's like
ginger ale.
for any ailment, it's that or my mom's favorite. Just gargle with warm water and salt. Mom, my arm hurts. Gargle with warm water and salt. I was like, Mom, but it's my arm. Gargle with warm water and salt.
Wake up
You know
tomorrow,
mine is-
nothing ever happened.
You know, mine is Excedrin.
Really?
Yeah. If I
See,
Excedrin,
I
that shit
try to
cancer.
stay away from aspirin because isn't that bad for you? Like
It
I
is,
only
but
take
I don't
like
know, it's just-
acetaminophen.
It just seems to cure everything.
Really?
You have a headache?
I don't mess with
Excedrin.
aspirin.
You got a cold?
They tell
Excedrin.
you to take 1 aspirin a day so that your blood doesn't develop.
I keep hearing that and seeing
The
that on the
bear, yeah,
news,
that's
but I
like
don't
heart
mess
attack and
with
all that
aspirin.
stuff.
Yeah,
I
I think
don't mess with aspirin.
If I ever have kids and they get sick, hey, take some Excedrin. He's gonna need 3, he'll be alright. Just give him 1 then, don't let them have 2. I'm telling you, that stuff will cure cancer.
Just 500 milligrams.
Yeah, that stuff will cure cancer. Headache, Excedrin. Hungover,
Yo, headaches
Excedrin.
are the worst, bro. As an adult, don't you feel like you get headaches less?
I don't
Yeah,
have headaches really.
Now, when
Yeah,
you get one, though,
I get them.
I just,
Really?
oh,
I mean, not
I
on a
go to
daily
sleep if I
basis.
get a headache.
it's that
Yeah, but if you get one
feeling.
like in the middle of the day when you're at work, you can't just like go to
Well,
sleep.
yeah.
I think some people just have.
If I have a headache toward the end of the day, like if I'm home, like you, like I ain't gonna take no aspirin. I'll just go to bed. I'll sleep it off. And if I wake up and the headache is still there, then I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, Excedrin has like mad caffeine in it, so if I take it before I go to sleep, it'll keep me up.
It's crazy.
Wave 45 TV talking about
Oh, we talking about
health,
everything.
entertainment,
Health,
Bob Marley,
relationships.
relationships,
The Rangers,
Brooklyn,
Rangers, the Brooklyn.
New York City, grits and biscuits. We plug in everything.
the Knicks.
Ritz and, tell me about this Ritz and
Yeah.
biscuits thing. Like, what's wrong with
That's
that?
brand new to me.
It's a party.
The bomb dance party.
Really?
That's gotten
It's
Freshman year, bro. It's freshman year.
What is it like? It's like
It's
crunk Southern
To
music?
me,
You've been
yes,
there. You've been to
exactly.
these parties.
Yes, a few times. I haven't been. I was so mad. I haven't been to the few big, huge ones.
And it
that
moves
they
around in
have.
Brooklyn.
Well, what happened was it started off in South Park. Like it used to be small. Like you know.
Who does these events?
Yeah.
These parties?
Dimitri was just saying the guys. I think they're from Houston. Like it's just like two dudes behind it. Like basically just have this idea to just like get all black folks together and just have a damn good time dancing to that down south. Like you just go to a party, just like there's nothing like seeing like
Freshman
hundreds of people swag surfing at the
What does that
same
mean?
time.
Freshman
It's
year.
just
What
like
is that?
Freshman year is when you have the most epic party.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's just
everybody's
so.
going in, no pretentiousness.
It's what I was say. It's just
I showed
like
up in
no
Chuck's jeans
frills.
and a V-neck.
I was gonna say
Hell,
like me and my friends
nobody
went.
cares if you're sweating.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Oh,
Me
I
and
just
my
know.
friends went
Yeah.
like jeans, t-shirt,
I'm
like
dancing.
it's not like super high,
Yeah,
none of
that's
that profiling. Like
Right.
if you ain't coming there
Sunglasses
to
at
dance and
night.
have a good time,
Don't-
you're in the wrong place.
Got
It's a grown place.
How do you find out about it? Can you Google it? or-
They have a
And the tickets
Facebook.
sell out like days in advance.
Yeah, they have a
they expensive?
Facebook. They're on the Twitter, huh?
Are the tickets expensive?
No, I mean they're more
they-
expensive than they used to be. I think it might be like $20 now.
That's not bad. That's about the same price.
Yeah, it's still cheaper to go to the club. Right.
It's the same price.
Before
as
I'm
the
gonna
club.
see it in, man.
Hey, I gotta get your contact anyway. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It really started off as like $5-10, but it's gotten bigger, and so they've had to move venues. But like,
Wow.
But it's
yeah,
always in Brooklyn.
it's this last time it was at Urban Plaza in Manhattan. It's getting
Oh, yeah, you
big.
did say that.
Wow.
And I think what Demetria was saying that now they're trying to decide like how can they combat that, because you don't want to get it too big because then it ends up getting shut down if it ends up being like
Yeah.
an issue. you
Like
know?
what's that? Like Project X.
Right.
That
You
movie.
can
Right.
sell tickets online?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
But it's one of those things where it's like when you hear that it's coming back, buy your ticket because it sells out.
You gotta have ticket scalpers.
There
for it.
used to be. It's one of those parties that starts at like 10, 11, but people used to line up outside of South Park like 7, 8 o'clock.
Good night.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they play nothing but down south music.
Nothing but down south music. So it's like it's just like it's like your history. Like you gonna hear Lil Jon, you gonna hear Touche. I mean,
Too
you might hear some. You know what I mean? Like it's all that music that boom.
David, what's his name? David Banner.
Yeah, exactly. All that. It's just fun and like way different than
That's what
obviously you go to a club up here, you're gonna hear predominantly like Jay-Z.
Yeah. Look like drinking water.
Good for you. Proud of you.
Oh, this is that bubbly water? No,
No,
it's flat.
it's flat.
I don't like that bubbly water.
I don't like it. It's gross.
Yeah, it tastes funky.
Glad for you.
You know what? Yeah, because that's what's wrong with the world. Water killing people.
It's better for you. Hey, how you doing?
Hello?
It is bubbly. Look, it's bubbly.
Is it? No, drink
Are
it.
you a speaker?
I am.
Oh, what's your name?
It's flat.
Oh, would you like to be interviewed? Well, you have no choice. to be interviewed. Are you going to, did you speak already?
No, I have 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
When do you come back?
when you come back, please, we'd love to interview you.
Okay.
What was that?
Awesome.
What was that guy's name that's being interviewed right now?
Okay,
From what's his name? Samuelson's group.
Jared Fleming.
Fleming. Yes.
Yes.
Got it. Thank you, man.
He's finishing right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to shop real quick. Thank you.
Live on Wave45.tv. Stay with me, people. Stay with me.
What panel are you on, Trisha?
Like something grind.
Oh,
okay.
you are on the
Trisha
full-time
Lee
grind.
Riley?
That's me.
Full-time grind.
Full-time grind.
Did a few people.
Now how do I
love
scale
their
up?
Twitter handle.
Loving their Twitter handle? Oh, love and their Twitter handle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've been using Love Trisha Lee for like ever. Love Trisha Lee at Gene. I mean, Love Trisha Lee.
I'm mad I didn't think about it.
I have a tattoo though that I got like 15 years ago, and that's kind of where it starts from.
Cool. Really cool.
You got time already?
No, I didn't. He is still on. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, he's still on. Go back another 5 minutes.
So why is supposedly the bubble water? Are you talking about seltzer?
Yeah, so I don't
Why
like
is it? I don't like it either. It has an aftertaste.
Yeah, it does. Like,
Why is it supposedly good? For
Yeah, I
you?
was kidding.
Oh, I was like, what is the science behind
I
that?
don't care if it is good for me. I don't like it.
It's just water with pop.
Yeah, but like she said, it's true. It leaves like this funky aftertaste. And sometimes you want water, you just want to drink it. You can't drink it fast. I just want to drink some water. I'm thirsty.
She owns Polish Bar
What is that?
in Brooklyn.
Pilot bar?
Polish Bar.
Polish bar.
Manicures Bar.
I don't think I've ever been there.
Yeah, it's
I heard of it.
What?
This young lady right here that just left?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Oh, what are these? These are
Go
souvenirs?
Early tomorrow.
You have what?
These are souvenirs?
Go home early tomorrow.
How you open the damn thing? Oh.
Go check on my mama.
Where your mom at?
Connecticut.
Oh, you going to Connecticut tomorrow?
Mhm.
Okay.
You're in Brooklyn, right?
No, please.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I forgot we're natives.
Nah.
Totally forgot about that.
Sunnyside?
Mm-hmm.
Sunnyside. What's wrong with that?
Oh, somebody over there. Probably somebody's bag.
Mine.
Your mother probably just talked her up.
No.
Oh, man.
If you see Kyle out there,
Oh, he's coming? Donovan?
no, not Kyle Diamond.
McCullough.
Oh.
Colors of Rising Influence. Michael Cooper's partner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I need to get all of them. As many of them as I can. Let's get one group shot.
Yeah.
That'll be good money.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen, on Wave45.tv. We are waiting for some more speakers to come so we can speak to them. They are having their breakout sessions right now, so stay tuned. In the meantime, Steven, so this Lundqvist dude from the Rangers, he's the real deal?
Yes. They call him King Lundqvist.
Okay.
I wish I could put a photo.
Hey,
Matter of fact,
I
you
wish
met
you
him.
guys good luck, man.
You met him. Remember that party we did? The
The ESPN part.
ESPN boat yacht party? And I had you photograph him with me?
Yeah.
Only the 2 times I've ever done it.
Yeah.
Him with Jada Pinkett.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still have that
I
photo.
remember that. So that was him, huh?
Yeah, that was him.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not gonna need luck tonight. We got this one. Like I said, I'm just worried about the next round. That's right. I'm black. I watch hockey, and I'm proud.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's, at the end of the day, it's a sport.
But I also love my Knicks. Basketball, boxing, and hockey. Did you see the fight last week?
The Knicks are ashamed.
Yeah.
They're ashamed. No, I didn't watch the
Cotto fight. Yeah.
I heard it was a good fight.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you know, like any fight, you always want to see a knockout, but it went the distance, so
Right.
it was what it was. It was cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Everybody tweeting, or have you been tweeting?
You told me? Oh. Oh yeah, I forgot to do that. I always forget to do that. I started this stupid Twitter thing, and I always forget to use it.
That's key for you.
Yeah, I know.
And you need to be on Instagram.
What is this thing?
It's a video. It's a picture version of Twitter. It's basically.
I don't know if my phone can do that. Do I have to start it on my? Because people only do it on their phones, right?
There's an app. You can do it. You have an app store on your phone?
I think so.
Go on there and just download it.
Actually, I was about to do the Twitter thing. Because I only use Twitter just for what you call it.
For the what?
I only use Twitter for business reasons. Talk about the events that I'm covering.
Yeah, she called me when she said.
I always forget. I go to an event, I always forget to do it.
Anything.
I need to do it right now for this.
I know you
For this.
on Friday, and I talked to my dad, and he said he will for sure. He's next week he's gonna get paid, and my dad said he will for sure. So, yeah, I emailed you already, so.
Can you,
Just like me.
with your phone,
If she does.
you talk to the little butler guy inside there, you can open up apps just by talking to him? Hey phone, open up this app.
I don't think so.
That's Sirius or Sirius?
Siri. I haven't even used that. To tell you the truth, I have not used Siri at all.
You have to be oh no, you can use it anywhere, right? It doesn't have to be just a Wi-Fi area, right?
Lord.
You have applications on your phone? I'm sure you do.
Yeah,
So tell it. Like, phone, open this app.
it's not gonna do it.
Oh no? Okay. I figured it does everything else. Remind you to
Well,
do
let me
stuff.
try it. Let me see.
Lord.
Hold on. Hi Siri, open up my app store.
They got easy lives. I said they have easy lives. I'm just struggling.
What kind of butler is that? I'm fired.
You call it a butler?
It does supposed to do everything you tell it to do. Hey,
They got
butler.
2 incomes coming in, so I don't know. I don't understand.
I haven't even used this thing, dude.
Try it. Say,
Go ahead.
let me see.
What are you looking for it to do?
I don't know.
It's not gonna open up an app.
What? Oh shit. You know the damn thing. I'm supposed to hold it down, right?
Yeah.
Where's the nearest pizza shop for me? I just want to see.
I'm at a leadership conference.
It didn't do anything.
It's for
Where is the
some
Red
people
Rooster
who are
restaurant?
having, like, an
That's a good question.
entrepreneurial, young professional conference.
Did I do it wrong? It's not. It's just. Let
Yeah.
me try again.
That's a good question.
How do I start it over? Mother of all that is evil.
Oh, again.
Okay, now let's try again. Okay, here we go.
Oh, okay.
Where is the Red Rooster restaurant?
Okay, here's Red Rooster. It looks pretty close to you.
Yeah.
Oh, that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's try it.
Right.
Where am I?
Here's your current location.
Oh, that is really cool. It comes up quick too. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh, it's so easy. There's so many here.
Can it bring up a website?
Similar prices, so you could.
Can it bring up a website?
I haven't tried that. Try it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So many.
Bring up Creme Magazine.
Yeah.
I guess that's right.
Guess what?
Yeah, they definitely have weird colors.
Open Facebook.
I can't help you with Facebook. Sorry about that.
Bitch.
Okay, talk to you later.
Be nice, Steven.
I don't like Siri. She be getting it wrong. She don't even understand anything I'm saying.
She got a couple of things right just now. Asked her where Red Rooster was. Asked her where I am. Open Creme magazine.
Found a number of magazine stores. 17.
You can't open
Very
apps
close to
with
you.
Siri, right?
You know what? I'd be lying if I said I know all the capabilities.
Okay,
I
alright.
don't think so.
Twitter is considered an app, right? It's on that thing?
Have you seen the Sam Jackson commercial? Like,
Yeah,
he be
he-
having her do all kinds of things that I
that's
didn't
what
know
I'm
she
saying.
did.
That's why I call it a butler.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hi.
Good.
Open Twitter.
Does she
I
do
can't
it?
open that for you. My apologies.
Why not? It's an app. You should be able to open it.
No, maybe she doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the new commercials they have there, they be having her do all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, she gonna be. I quit. I'm like, I could do type faster than you could.
Oh, it can do that also, right? It can text what I say?
Yeah, it can text. It'll text, but like she don't be understanding. First of all, she don't understand my name. Then she
Right.
be texting the wrong person. I'm like,
Open YouTube.
I don't think she opens apps.
I'd like to, but I'm not allowed to. Sorry about that.
Why is she not allowed to? Is this some sort of copyright infringement? Oh, okay. This is all right. Here we go. Open Game Center.
Ever so sorry. I'm not allowed to do that.
You are useless. Really? Like you? Oh.
And then she
What's
be
today's
spelling
weather?
things wrong.
Weather. Yes.
Weather for New York City coming up. Sorry, there's no weather info for New York City.
Seriously? Yo,
I don't use it, yo.
I can see why.
I don't need.
I can
it.
see
It's-
why.
It's
The only thing that seems
The
to be
question has to be like really specific,
Yeah.
like very
What?
specific.
Yeah, what's the New York City weather? It even says it. I can't give you New York City weather right
The
now.
only fun thing that I used to like try to make her do is text people, but it takes too long. Mine is whole texting myself.
Can it read a text to you?
Like you could be like text Vladimir,
Mhm.
and like I don't know, it's like
Pass.
she'll be like taking out the wrong one.
I want my
Give
computer
that
to do
shot.
that. I want my computer to do that. I want to just walk up on the computer. Computer on. Computer pull up this file. Computer open this photo.
Pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm sure
That should be how they should
that's
put.
probably like
They
next
should put
year.
Sirius on laptops and desktops.
That's probably like next year.
Yeah, like open this.
Or it probably
Or
exists
shut
already,
down.
but they just haven't.
You probably got to turn it on manually, but it's like, all right, I'm done with it. Computer shut down. It'll just shut itself down. That'd be hot.
Full time grind.
And sometimes when I'm trying to find a particular photograph, I have to go through all my files. And as long as I have it listed, I can say like 3 months from now, I got to pull up photos of this. Computer, pull up Rising Affluent photos. And it'll just go right to it and pull them all up. That would be hot. That'd be pretty cool. All right, let's see what this guy's done. He should be by now. Computer, pull up Sanaa Lathan.
No.
Number comes up.
And whose number comes up?
Vladimir.
What's up, man?
Host with the mostest.
Host with the mostest, live on Way 45 TV. We got some downtime right now. We're just waiting for these speakers to come out of their breakout sessions so we can speak to them. Or
Thank you to all the speakers who have talked to us so far.
yes, who do we have? Let's go through the rundown.
We spoke to Demetria Lucas.
Relationship expert,
Yep, Kevin Brown.
Kevin Brown.
We spoke to Julian Gordon of Purpose Finder.
Kevin Brown is a motivational speaker as
Yes,
well.
he is. We spoke to Christina Brown.
Oh yes, the social media expert.
Earlier, who did we speak to earlier?
Yes.
We talked to some attendees.
Spoke to Ash Cash.
Spoke to Ash Cash.
Spoke to Brian and Marcus of Incubate NYC.
For sure.
Who else can I remember? Sophia, she was an attendee.
Mm-hmm.
Justin was an attendee.
Yep.
We had Khalil and Bilal.
Yeah, they were funny.
Looked like a freaking R&B group. Word.
It was really interesting. Was it Bilal who was saying, you asked him if he was an entrepreneur, and he's like, he's trying to find his passion, you know?
Yeah. Ash, what's up?
What's up, Black? How you feeling, brother?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
Cause you know I know doing this all day though, man. It's good.
I just ate.
Alright.
So, what's
We
up?
got two panels.
Two
Hello.
panelists.
Hi.
So this is Vladimir.
Hey,
Vladimir?
Vladimir.
Oh,
Good to
Vladimir.
see you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
This
you.
is Patrice.
Hi, Patrice. Nice
What's
to
your
meet
name?
you.
How are you?
Nakia.
Hey, Nikia.
Nice meeting you,
Nice to
Nakia.
meet you.
Right.
Another panelist here. This is Patrice.
Oh, what's
How
up,
you
David?
doing?
Hi, how are you?
What's going on, man? How you?
Haven't seen you in a minute.
Yeah,
How
man.
you doing?
Good.
I'm good. All right.
So this is Wave 45.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So I think, yeah, you can just hop
Wave
on over there.
45, man.
Wave
Wave
45. That's right.
Put some lip gloss on,
Hey,
right?
you was talking. Go ahead. I didn't even know what you were talking about.
They don't understand. They don't understand, y'all.
She got to get her
Damien Lemon. What's up, man?
What's good, man? How you?
good,
Wave
man.
45, huh?
Yeah, man.
Let's
That's
get into
everything,
it.
man.
Good.
So we like what you said, you waving 45?
Yeah, I was
That's what's
joking,
going
man.
on?
Yeah,
At the business conference?
No, that's what I thought, man.
Get her a second too. So what's up? How was the panel?
I haven't even done my panel.
Oh, you
yet.
haven't? Which
No.
one you gonna go on?
I'm doing something about creativity.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a last minute switch, so let me tell you what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Uh,
You doing a breakout session, right?
am I?
This full-time grind,
This
this
is,
coding session, and then you got going global, turning your creative dreams into
There we go.
reality. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm at.
You funny.
I didn't know. Yeah, this is me. Why am I here? What is this? What time is it? Because I want to make sure I make my panel.
2:55.
Yeah, what time is it now? About 2:30?
Yeah.
Okay, we got
So you got some time.
Yeah, so I'm there.
So what are you supposed
This
to
is an interesting. This is an interesting.
What are your major points?
Yeah, I
What-
met
what-
her.
what- what-
You're tech day, and so
What do
we
you
did
know? What do you
know what I look like? I know what I know what I'm talking about. You better keep on camera talking.
What do you want to talk about?
Oh, yes.
On
From what I understand, because again, this was the
Exactly.
last minute switch.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to kind of share my
Did I just
story.
have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, turning your creative dreams into reality.
Right.
So you know what I do, I do stand up. So that was my goal. That was my
I'm
dream.
so
So
sorry. They're gonna get it.
how do I?
Yeah, and that's what I told
Pull
her.
on out.
Absolutely. So how do you transition from you know
But you know.
a wannabe to this is what I do? You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? So we'll just talk about it.
You're gonna
What
share
steps you need to
your
take?
experience.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about my experiences, what you plan to expect. You know, what else? You know, just managing your expectations.
Yeah.
Dealing with being uncomfortable, because I feel like that is the biggest hurdle for so many people.
You gotta have an out of body experience to like get to that level that you want to get to, which is right.
Maybe even out of your apartment space, you probably have to be evicted. No, yeah, but you need to, you definitely need to have something that's gonna really shake you up a little bit,
Right.
and you're gonna have to survive that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And at that point, you're gonna be like, okay, I can survive being super broke. I can survive,
Yeah.
you know, cutting my own hair. You know what I mean? I can survive. Like, trust me, there's a lot, especially as men, but it's just people in general. But as men, I feel like we define ourselves on our financial status. You know what I mean? Like, your confidence is so contingent on that sometimes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't have no money.
Right.
I'm not going to that spot. I'm not trying to talk to this girl. They don't want to, you know, they can smell the broke on.
Right.
But it's going to be that moment when you're trying to transition out and say, for instance, you had a job where you had your security check every 2 months, you had health care, you had a 401k, and now you want to be a painter. All you got is a canvas, some brushes, and a drink. So now you got to figure it out. You know what I mean? So that's that.
So tell us about your experiences. I mean, where were you at before? I mean, now you're doing stand-up.
I am. Yeah.
So, I mean, tell us a little about your experience, like how you got to now doing stand-up. Did you always want to do stand-up?
Yeah, I want to do this.
Okay.
So, basically, you said,
No, I'm just laughing because I didn't know I didn't know you did stand up.
yeah.
But as you were talking, I was like, yo, this dude is funny.
Oh, okay.
But so it makes sense now. I mean, I didn't give it sense. That makes sense. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nah, so I wanted to.
I'm gonna stretch this conversation as long as I can because this guy's entertaining right now.
Yeah. We ain't gonna go super long. But basically, you know, I wanted to do it since I was about 9.
Right.
Went to school, whatever. You know, and I didn't really, you just was attracted to it at 9. You didn't see that there was, you're 9 years old. You thinking abstract jobs, fireman, doctor.
Yeah.
Just the traditional, you don't think niche job. I want to be a stand-up comedian at 9. You just see that. You're like, okay, Eddie Murphy's super funny. I like what he does.
Right.
Got a little older, seen Def Jam. You're like, oh, okay, so there's actually an environment for this. There's a whole community of stand-ups that look like me, that speak to the same sensibility, type of thing like that.
Right.
Went away to college, I used to hear a lot about the so you should do stand-up.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. Now the funny thing is, when you define yourself by anything, right? Say for instance, you know, you can run real fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're a girl that's real cute. You know what I mean? You're a dude that's funny. That's cool, but to say, yo, that's gonna be my profession, and that's what you define yourself as, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you fail at that, you gotta find a whole new definition of self, because you're not even yourself anymore. You're like, nah, you ain't fun. I know who told you that. Now you gotta go find your new life.
Right.
So that kind of spooked me for a while. So there was a time in college where I had the opportunity to go on stage and do something, and I chilled. I was like, shit. That was a big regret, you know. So for years, I worked at. When I got out of college, I worked in the entertainment industry. I worked at Vibe, I worked for labels and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And that was fun. That was exciting. But I still had that urge. So every time I see a comedian, I'll be like, yeah. So tell me, man, how you get into it? You know, that type of thing. Thinking it's going to tell me something mystical or something like, you know. It was like, just get on stage. That's it. That's the entry level. Just get on stage. Once you get on stage, the crowd will let you know if you built for it or not. Right. You know, so it took me to 2005. December 28, 2005, I got on stage. This place called Sal's Comedy Hall in the Village. And I did well. The little 5-minute open mic did well or whatever. And, you know, been going ever since. There was times when I was, you know, bombing. Right. You can't avoid that. For a while, you know, I was still working at Vibe and doing comedy at the time. So I was still treating the comedy thing kind of like a side hustle. Exactly. You know what I mean? I wasn't giving it the full commitment. And if there's anything about comedy, it's all about commitment, for better or worse. You know what I mean? Put out a garbage show. Right. You know what I mean? But there could be some funny in that if you commit to it enough to where you like, okay, they don't laugh at it because, not that it's terrible, but because maybe I set it up wrong. So let me set it up like this, and the next thing you know, oh wow. You know what I mean? So it's just that type of thing.
You get a different reaction.
So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of glossing over a lot of it. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about, you know, I got some more oohs and ahs or whatever. I'm just gonna be talking, tell up our story.
So where can we see you in all stand-up?
Everywhere, man. I'm at Village Lantern tonight. I'm at Stand Up New York. I got best place to find me is go to DamienLondon.com. Okay. I got my whole schedule for the month. I update it every month. Yeah. So there's that. You can follow me on Twitter, DLemon Comedy. Okay. I'm on MTV's Guy Code. We're coming back for our second season in July. Right. Hip Hop Squares. That's coming like next week on MTV2. What else?
So you out there? You doing?
I'm going hard, man. I'm trying to, you know, trying to stay out of housing court. That's real talk. That's real talk. None of y'all been to housing court before? Y'all ain't lived life. Y'all ain't lived life.
I've heard about it. Order is the real deal.
Hell yeah.
Judge don't care.
Listen, man. I was in housing court so often. I was like the Mayweather. I was winning.
Judge don't care, man.
It was tough. But anyway, so what's good with you, man?
I'm chilling, man.
What's going on with Wave 45? Tell me, I don't even know if it's a porno channel. What's going on?
Not at all, man.
Is this the whole Wave 45 squad,
This
man?
is it, man, where you can find the best video content, man. So this is live streaming right now on iPhones, on Droid phones, and it's going to be available on Google TV, Apple TV, and all of that, man.
Why is it called Wave 45?
We just can't, the new wave of video merging with the internet, because, you know, everybody's looking at video now. Online. So that's where we go with the new wave. And 45, you know, me and my partners literally met and came up with this concept on Starbucks at 45th Street.
Oh, on 45th Street.
So
Okay.
There we go, man. You know, we like numbers. We like the whole wave thing happening. So Wave 45, there it is.
Shout out to Max B. Harlem in the wave. You gotta give the Coke wave a part of it. I don't know if that's the right thing to do.
Crazy.
But anyway, so you the
I'm one of the partners of Wave 45, and I'm doing the live stream. We're sponsoring. For this, you know, Rise of Affluent. Yeah. So we're just, you know, interviewing all these speakers today to kind of get a better sense of what they're talking about.
That's what's up.
So thanks for
that $99 is tough. A lot of people can't afford that $99. That's real talk. Did y'all pay for the $99? Y'all working?
We're working, man.
$99, it's tough.
But hey, it's a good price to come in network.
Yes.
Okay,
it's a good price to come in network.
No doubt. Thanks for having me. One more time. It's our third handshake. How about that?
It's all good.
Thanks for having me, my dude. No doubt.
I haven't seen you again. I haven't seen you in a minute, man.
It's been a little while.
The last time I saw you was doing Vibe.
Yeah. So it's been a mess. So that's like At least 07.
Yeah.
You got a car?
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna got coach. Yeah. You got a car? Yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
So I was like, I seen when he. So one of the jokes you made, I was like, I seen him on Diet Coke.
That was a good. There you go.
That's a good look. That show is so funny.
Yeah, we coming back in July.
I heard. Thank you. I heard. It's another season.
So you're gonna do an interview with Crim now, right? Or after your panel? What time?
I guess. Are you with Cram?
Yes.
You said it like I should know that. I didn't know that. What's your name?
Jessica.
Jessica, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Right, what's your name? Okay. Kevin, good to meet you.
Yeah.
Look at old man. Yo, presidential.
Sleeping, man. It's 2:40, so maybe we can catch you after your panel.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Where you gonna be in here?
Yeah, we'll chill out in here, or I might go watch the panel.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
All right.
All right, see you soon.
Yeah.
Are you on the panel over here? Okay. Come on in. You gonna do it?
Man.
I'll wait.
Mia, what's your last name? Paul.
Hi.
Mia Paul. Yeah.
Shake my hand, please. I saw you outside. You were doing interviews yourself, right?
Yeah, for Rising Affluent.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
So they were like, I was like, I'm not a panelist, but they were like,
Yeah.
they had in front of everybody. So
Let's go freestyle it.
Okay.
Yeah. How's it been going?
It's been going well.
What's been the reaction so far for the people you've been interviewing?
The people, they said they've been getting nuggets of information that can be useful for them in their personal lives, professional lives. So,
Are you part of the team?
yeah.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, that's my role in the team. Yeah. So like,
That's
nothing
right.
more than that. So, yeah.
So what other panels? I was looking actually here. What else do we have going on that we need to look forward to?
So right now, I know that they're having.
Derek Clement just finished, right?
Right, he just finished, so now they're having the
Okay.
next
Oh,
one.
and
I think it's this one. This one and the other. This is what's going on now. So this is the one
Okay.
that
That's
from
really nice.
Brooklyn, and
Okay.
I think Derek is still staying for that panel too.
All right.
And
I typed something else.
What's been the common theme that
Because I was trying
people
to do
been
it
talking about as far as when you've been interviewing them that they've been taking away from today's conference?
well, most of the people that I had were in the morning conference, and they were at the they were at the Me Inc. session,
Right.
and even no, they weren't talking about this too much, but they were talking about how it's good for you to have or focus on building your personal brand, whether you want to be a personality or not, like, or whether you want to be the CEO of your company, or
Right.
even if you know you want to take that corporate path and you don't want to have your own business and be an entrepreneur, you should still have your own brand at your company. So I was like, that's important.
That's important.
Everybody, like, even they said you might want to have a YouTube page, even if you don't, want to be on TV, but you should show yourself as an expert in that field and building your personal brand like that. So
Did you hear or interview the lady from LinkedIn?
no.
No. Okay. We're trying to get her in here as well because I heard she had a powerful message talking about not only having a mentor but having a sponsor to kind of take you under your wing.
Somebody did say that too. Yeah, somebody talked about her talking about
that point was really talked about a lot. All right, cool. So thanks for coming on.
No
Is there
problem.
anything else we want to talk about?
Were
you at last year's Rising Affluent? Did you help out with that?
I was at last year's Rising Affluent, but I
Okay.
didn't help out.
Okay.
So, but I did learn a lot, and I wanted to be able to come back and offer,
Okay.
advice and, but offer what I do, and also build what I do as well. So
Let's talk about what you do.
I mean, I'm a reporter, so I like to interview people.
All right.
And
So you used to be on this side of
right,
things.
I'm used to being on that side, right? But I usually do sports. And so I'm a sports business, and so I also write articles for Black Enterprise and sports business, and so I do different events like All-Star games and like different tournaments that they'll have around the city, and I'll just report on those things.
So let's talk sports while I have you here. Let's talk about the Knicks.
The Knicks? Do we have to? I'm a Knicks fan, so.
What are your thoughts? What
hurts.
are your thoughts on the Knicks? What are your thoughts on Amari Stoudemire self-sabotaging himself for the second year in a row? I mean, let's talk about that. What are your thoughts?
I mean, it's just, I don't know if we were cursed or, what the Knicks did to deserve,
Right.
to what we've had.
Right.
I mean, Linsanity, I think, I'm very thankful for
good
that
for the
because,
city.
it lifted our hearts.
Right.
Even, just Knicks fans, even Asians,
Yes.
it was, a great lift. So I can't say this whole year was bad. We already had half of the season because of the lockout, but with Amari, I don't even want to speak specifically about him because everybody is a factor, and even the switching of the coaches, and even though Mike Woodson, he did a great job with what he had. With what he had, he did the best he could with what he had. But as far as Amari, I just have to laugh because it's not funny because I'm a fan, but it's just like, that wasn't.
So, do you think they should keep the coach, or?
I think that they should keep the coach they have now, but I think that they should advocate. And this isn't my original idea. I actually the Bottom Line Sports Show. Penny Hardaway started. He didn't start it, but he's an executive producer on that show, and they were talking about how I believe it was Tim Tebow's team, like the fans around his team, got like the team to put different players out there because they were doing bad at that time. So the people on the Bottom Line Sports Show were saying that the Knicks fans, we should be rallying like the Knicks coaching staff to change up the lineup or do something that will really shift the team. So they're saying that the fans need to rise up as Tim Tebow's team did when he was on it.
It's all about chemistry.
And and go back to that. Look at when Jeremy Lin came in. We didn't have the superstars on the team, but they won, opening them up. Right. They found a way. So it's not really about the, superstar players all the time. It really is more about the chemistry of the team.
That's awesome. How long have you been doing interviews?
Well, actually, it really started last year, 2011, when I worked for the high school sports management. Okay. I graduated with a bachelor's in sport management. That was my passion for a long time. And I wanted to do community work, so I worked at the high school, but they had the idea of going to the All-Star game in 2011. They're like, why don't you go? So I'm like, okay, and then I went out there. I had to report the story because they're like, we're not going to send you out there, pay for you to go, but you have to get credentials and go out there and report the story. So I did that. I did a Reebok. They had a tournament. Right. And, John Wall was there. Jason Terry was there. And, a couple other players, but it was amongst high school students. So I did a couple of interviews there. And then I started to say, you know what? It just...
Got something going on here.
Right, exactly. I was like, why not do this, full-time or whatever, sure. Or pursue it full-time. Definitely. So I said, well, maybe I will do this. So now I just started pursuing it full-time. And I also was doing an interview, like it was a kids program. I volunteered for this organization called Power Play. That's what introduced me to sports. Sorry to be talking on and on, but
no, it's cool. This is interesting to me.
Okay, but so Power Play, I was in high school, and they introduced us to women in sports. Anuga Brown Sanders, who used to work at the Knicks. I used to work for the Knicks as well. Okay. And Karen Buchholz, she got me an internship.
That's why you had a nice political.
Right. But yeah, so that's what got me started. But the kids, it's a high school program, so the kids were asking me, what's my favorite part about my job, and I was like, well, my favorite part was going to the All-Star game, being able to, stick a microphone in front of, Carmelo Anthony, but I'm getting paid to do it. I'm getting a hotel to stay with the players and be in this atmosphere that I love, and I like that. So after saying that, I was like, well, why don't I do this? Why don't I try to pursue it full time, right? And before, my passion was to be a community relations director, because I love helping out communities. So I wanted to be in that part of the NBA or team, helping go into schools, helping kids and things like that. I still want to do that, but I know that I don't like to be in the office, like pushing papers, and that's what I say.
Right. You like to be out in the field.
Right, out in the field, talking to people.
Interaction.
Exactly. So why not pursue it full time?
So what's your next sports event that you plan on heading out to?
What is my next question? Well, I have the same Reebok conference coming up in July. Yeah. But now doing it in the park, it was made by Bobito Garcia. Yes. He's doing a he already did a movie, and they're having a screening next Thursday on the 17th. No, not the 17th. On the 24th. So that's the next event I'll do. I'll go over there, interview some of the people that are going in. It's basically a street ball movie.
And he's a big sneaker guy, right?
Yeah,
Mario,
yeah, as well.
Huge.
Yeah, he does a lot of things, and sneakers and sports, and so he has a Street Ball movie coming out, so I'm gonna go to cover that on the 24th.
Women in sports, I'm loving it. All right, ESPN, you better watch out.
Go Rangers.
Oh, this guy right here.
Go Rangers.
Rangers fan.
Rangers? Oh, okay. I'm a New York fan, so any New York
Rangers, there you
team,
go.
let's
Game
go.
game
Let's
7
go.
tonight. This guy's waiting for 5 o'clock, and he's gonna dash out of here. Like we don't have him
Nice.
past 5 o'clock. He's gonna dash out of here.
Okay,
He's gonna go
okay.
in his jersey.
Oh,
Probably get
nice.
some Guinness, right?
Guinness.
Some Guinness.
And
Here's
just
the house.
and watch us win, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I just want New York to win, honestly.
No doubt.
Honestly, so home team, home team.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much. And
Thank you.
you know, I definitely keep in touch. Wave 45.
Yes.
Holler.
No doubt, definitely.
Cool.
Nakia?
Right. Morning.
All right. Nakia, right?
Yes, Nikia.
So glad to man.
Glad to be here.
Patrice, Nakia.
I
Let me get
I
your
have her.
Is that your?
Oh, no, I'm a moderator, so you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a moderator. Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
She's boss
Yeah.
lady.
Boss lady.
Yeah.
What panel are you moderating?
It's the last panel.
No, this is great.
Special
This-
interest.
Different for women.
This is awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Save the
Well,
best
tell
for
a
last.
little bit. Tell everybody a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, we're live right
Oh,
now.
we're live.
Oh, all three of us
My
will
name is
get that,
Nikia
so.
Booth, and I recently started a company with my husband called Media Scheme,
Okay.
where we provide digital media solutions to small businesses, nonprofits, entrepreneurs, and music artists
Oh, okay.
in the industry. And how that came about is my last job actually worked for an internet company,
Mhm.
startup, and the company folded before they could actually launch the product.
Mm.
And what I did business development for them, and I would travel around to all the conferences. So I was on the trade circuit, and
You were hitting the floor.
yes, I was on the floor a lot of
Right.
times, and so I was able to, see all of the new technologies that were coming out,
Right.
and that was extremely exciting
Yeah.
to me, more so than the music business. And I had originally joined the startup because I was, in the music industry,
Right.
and I wanted to work for a company that dealt with music and technology. But what I learned was it's so difficult to make money in the music industry, and what's really exciting is the technology.
Exactly.
And I've always been interested in tech. And so what I've learned, though, is that if you don't know how to use the technology, it doesn't really work for you. It doesn't matter, right? If you're not accurately setting up reminders in Outlook, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's not gonna, you have to help the technology help you.
Right.
And to make it work, really. And so what I was finding was that as we are transitioning, because like social media kind of blew up in the last 2 years, like really just took off. Like now more and more businesses are using it, they're starting to understand. But as I was, in the previous years, as I was going through it, I was like, a lot of companies don't understand
Right.
not just social media, but technology, even the software that they use. Like a lot of companies would get, they would pay for enterprise software, for example, like Salesforce or something like that,
Okay.
right? And use it just for contact management.
When you could use it for more than.
But there's so much more, capabilities to really hone in on the relationship. So you can, nowadays it's all about the relationships, right? They used to say ROI was return on investment, right? Now everything is like, what's the return on the relationship, right? How much of that relationship do we get on that investment? And it's not about money, because people understand that sometimes word of mouth is more valuable than just an ad,
Right.
right? So I was like, okay, people don't understand how this technology is working. And so when the company folded, my husband and I had to really figure out what we wanted to do. Did I want to go back into corporate 9 to 5, regular day gig? Do we want to start our own business? And him working as a studio engineer, producer, we would get a lot of artists to come into the studio.
Right.
And I would say, like, I'd never heard of them. And I'd say, oh, where can I find your music? And they would send me to 3 different places. And I'm like, are you kidding? I'm not doing that. Like, I got to go to YouTube, then I got to go to MySpace, and I got to log into MySpace.
It's a full-time job.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And so I would say, why don't you just have one site where, you can go, and you don't even have to house everything on your site. You can aggregate everything to your site, because there's certain tools that can pull everything, that can pull all your social media there. It can pull all your video from across the web. You can put them on Vimeo, YouTube, I don't care, but you need to have one central place that people can easily find who you are, what you do, and what they're about, because that's what people are buying into now. It's not about your product, they're buying into you. What's your story? And if I have to go to 5 different places to figure out who you are,
Right.
It's a wrap. Like, I'm not doing it unless
Mm.
I really, really, really want to, you know, if I'm interested in you. Like, I probably do that for like Jada Pinkett Smith or something because I like her. But for the not, you know, average person, and so what I found was that there were a lot of people who were not digitally savvy and tech savvy. And I think the barrier, right, the entry barrier was so high at a certain point because it cost a ridiculous amount of money to get a computer. And then the high speed. And then you had to learn how to do these things. But now people are computing on their phones. Everyone, not everyone, but a lot of people have smartphones.
Definitely.
In the hood, it's not uncommon to see people walking down the street with an iPad. Right? Like, and everybody's on Twitter.
Yeah.
My little cousins, who I never would have thought is on the
It's
internet,
crazy.
he's on Twitter. He has
Yeah,
9,000
it's crazy.
followers. And I'm like, how do you have more followers than me? You know what I mean? And they're like in the street using this technology, but it's more social.
Exactly.
Right? It's more social. And so what we decided to do is I just figured, like, I feel like we have an opportunity to help people level the playing field. All you have to do really is educate them and show them the capabilities and the potential.
Right.
And then let them use it for however they need to. So that's what our company does. So if you're an independent artist and you have nothing, you know, we can go from the rooter to the tutor. Like, or you got some songs, you want to get it recorded, fine. We'll record, you know, you get your little CD, get a demo, whatever, but then we can also build your website. You want to go further, we can do some video EPKs, we can do stuff like that. You have shows, we can go to your shows, capture some of that content,
Right.
and put them on and help you and explain to you how to use that content to build your following, how to, you know, position yourself so that you're not out there, like, it's just not going into thin air.
Gotcha. So you're moderating a special interest event.
I'm moderating, so here I'm moderating a special interest panel.
What questions do you have for these guys?
Well, my panel is about women and are the rules different for women in the workspace. And, you know, Kyle thought that I would be perfect for it, being that I am a woman.
Right.
You know, I can speak to that. But also I've had different levels. You know, I've worked in different areas. I've worked corporate, I've worked startup, I've worked independent. And, you know, most recently my own venture as an entrepreneur. And for me, my struggle has always been about work-life balance. I have children. I also have a husband who's, you know, who wants his time too.
Yeah.
Right? He wants me to be mommy, but then he also wants me to be his wife.
Right.
And then I want to be my own person, right?
Absolutely.
And then I have a job, and then I had that. So it was always like that struggle and how do you do it? And, you know, I would come home and not want to, like, be bothered with the kids because I was just so busy. And then, but you're the mom,
Right.
you know. And I had an aha moment when, like, my last job, I told you I've traveled a lot. And I've always wanted to live in LA. My husband does not want to live in LA. And this has been for the past 5 years, me trying to coax him to moving to LA. And so he didn't want to go, and I felt myself building up resentment towards him. I'm being honest, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm building up this resentment because I'm like, why is it fair that I don't get to pursue my dream, my
Right.
passion, and you do, right? And so he's like, dude, I never told you that you don't have to move, right? Like, if this is, like, let's stop talking hypotheticals.
Right.
So then I said, fine, I'm going to start looking for jobs in LA, and if I land something, then we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We'll have that conversation. But I wanted to talk to my kids. We include our children in everything that we do.
Right.
So I said, hey, how would you feel if, you know, I moved to LA? And they were like, well, if you left, we wouldn't really care, but if Dad left, we'd be really sad.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like,
Bam.
what? And they're like, well, we're used to you traveling. We know that you're just going to go and come back, but we're with Dad every day. And it was just like, okay, like, that's cool. Like, I was very happy that they have a great relationship with their father. I didn't have a relationship with my dad. No, hardly any people in my family had a relationship with their
Right.
father. So I was very proud and happy, but then I was like, that's not the mom that I wanted to be. I wanted to be that mother that was fully present, like 100% mom, 100% wife, 100% business
Absolutely.
person, you know, all that type of thing. So then I had to really figure out, what did all mean when I say, I believe I can have it all? And what is that all? And my all is different from somebody else's all. You know, another woman might be completely fine with having a nanny and you know, housekeepers and all that stuff, as long as she's making the money and paying the bills. They may be cool with that. For me, it wasn't. And so what I want to talk to the women on the panel is how do they deal with that, being a woman in this space? And then, you know, on my jobs, what I found, I was the only woman and I was the only black woman, right? Only black person. Well, there was a couple of other black people, but on an executive level, I was the only one. And I found myself in meetings not talking because I was intimidated by the other men, right? And I just assumed they were smarter than me. And I would listen to them like, shut the hell up. Like, you don't even know what you're saying. Or he just said that. And you're just using 10 more words to make yourself sound smarter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then, you know, it was like, I would be really like quiet. And then also I noticed that I tended to work more because I wanted to prove that my family was not going to be a hindrance. I would remember interviewing and I would be very conscious of not mentioning anything about children in my interviews. And I'm like, even when they would ask me, so what do you do on your free time? Tell me about who you are. I would never bring up the fact that I was a mom. And I felt like that's not fair. It's not cool. Like, men can talk about their families all day long. But me as a woman, it's a black mark because they're going to be like, well, we can't give her that job because she's going to have to leave for parent-teacher meeting and, you know, or the kid is sick and mom, you know what I mean? And I felt like, I was just like, that's not fair. It's just not fair. It's not right. I don't like it. And, you know, I didn't know what to do. I just really didn't know what to do. So I want to ask some of the other women, like, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with being, because, okay, I'll put it to another thing. Men want you to be very, very smart, but they want you to be very, very sexy, right? You know how many times, like, I've had to say to my boss, like, are you really pimping me out? And he would be like, Nikia, like I said, I need you to come to this dinner. And I'm like, I don't even work, that's not even my account. I don't even deal with consumer electronics. But I need you to come to this dinner.
Right.
And can you wear that blue shirt?
Wow.
And very upfront, very matter of fact, not even playing. And then I'm like, you know, well, this is a game. And I know if I help pull that account, there's an extra chip for me, there's a bonus, or there's something, right? So there's always that, like, you have to decide, are you going to play the game or are you not going to play the game? But I felt like I kept being like, damn, like, I'm just feeling like I'm getting pimped out here. Like, this is just corporate pimping, you know? And I'm like, so I have to look fresh and you're walking around with your, like, I can see your butt crack, you don't have on a tie. You know, one guy, I'm like, you need to shave, dude. Like, what's going on? But then they expect the women to always be on top with your makeup, look good. You know, and I'm like, well, then it takes me longer in the morning.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or it's going to take certain things that I have to do, whatever, to maintain. And I just feel like that imbalance. Or, you know, how do you be assertive? Or how do you even be emotional? Because I swear I found the biggest bitches were the men in the office. In the meetings, I would be like, who's doing the most job grabbing right now? Like, that's this ego thing that's going on. And they always talk about women being emotional, women, you know, just, you know, they cry or they're not strong or whatever. And I saw so many business deals go awry because the man, his ego was crushed. And that was how he exerted his power. Right? And it was, I would be like, really? But if a girl did that, if a woman did that, it would just be, you know, she's just, no, you can't take her on the business meetings, or she's not powerful enough or strong enough for that.
It's going to be a powerful panel. So thanks again for coming on.
Thank you.
Tell me your business again.
It's Media Scheme. You can find us at MediaScheme.com. You can follow us on Twitter at Media Scheme, or Facebook, Media Scheme, or Google+. We don't really use Google+, but, and then no one's at, or you can follow me at Kiastar, KIASTAR. And, you know, of course, if you have any digital media questions, or if you want to figure out how you can integrate that into your work, or even just your personal development, you know, that's what we're here to do.
All right. Thanks for coming on.
No doubt. Thank
All
you.
right. Anytime. Cool.
Cool.
Thank you.
Do you have a card? I do have a
Hey, guys.
And it's so funny because, like, thank you. I was telling my husband, like, oh, it's a lot.
Roll the dice.
I was like, I'm not wearing a suit. And I already told Hal I'm not wearing a suit. Right? So I'm like, I was like, dude, I'm the only one at GMT. And I was like,
Hi, Vladimir.
Nice to meet you.
Are
and
you
that's it, you know, and I was like, no, that's it. He was like, I'm trying to give him very chillax.
What's your name? Dubia.
And I feel like,
so, Rising Affluent, were you here last year for the first one?
No, I missed it last year. I was actually working. I wasn't able to attend.
Okay. So, are you an entrepreneur, a young professional?
A little bit of both. I work in media as a 3D animator, graphic artist, sometimes a videographer. I shoot, cut, edit, animate, whatever needs to be done, I can pretty much do it.
Which panels have you attended thus far?
The first three, so the one that's supposed to, oh, my notes are there, so I don't have them handy.
Well, I have this
Perfect.
program here for you. So you went to the breakout sessions?
Yes, the art of side hustling.
Okay. How was that? A lot of people went to that. How was that?
It was really informative. It really gave you feedback in terms of, with the recession, not being dependent on a single stream of like income.
Right.
You have to have something else going on. Or for those for whom something else going on is actually possible. Because some people have great jobs and they're fine.
Right.
And don't really have to branch out. But those for whom a side hustle is necessary, give you insight about mentoring and having an excellent mentor and following up with people who you want to be mentors to you. Not just a single email here and there, but meeting face to face, not just relying on emails and social networking to say I have a mentor or to meet with someone, but to really get some face time, speak, have lunch, dinner, speak to someone, get their insight on what's happening, pitch your ideas, where you want to go, and to follow up is a lot of work.
So for those who missed today's conference, you would advise them to come to next year's conference?
Absolutely, absolutely. There's so much information in terms of, we haven't gotten to the financial aspects, but I think there are a couple of financial seminars about how to balance your money.
Sure.
And for those who are more financially sound, or who work more in the financial business versus those who are into the arts. I know personally, me, I'm in the arts, so it's kind of, I don't really have so strong of a financial business sense, and I'd rather not have to think about the money part of it. I just want to work and be an artist and be creative, right?
Yeah.
Let somebody else handle the financial, cut me a check, or however it works out, but not really have to, itemize, okay, well, 10% of this and 50% of that, and if I do this and that, I want to do the art, create, make things pretty and nice, and get paid for it.
Have you been networking? Have you met anybody today?
Yes, I've met a few people today. Those who are also job seeking, those who have jobs, and folks who are in different industries who are giving us advice about how to be successful, how to be sane, how to be healthy, to not burn out. I don't think I've actually gotten to that seminar yet about healthy living.
Yeah, that's coming up later on.
But that's really important as far as not burning out and drinking so much coffee and just burning yourself out to make money that you end up sick and not able to enjoy your wealth because you're laid up and not really.
Great, so great tips and networking and learning a lot today. Rising Affluent. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
All right, cool.
Next up, we got Troy.
Troy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing? Attendee?
Yes, attendee.
How you doing, man?
Nice to meet you. Glad I'm here.
All right. Your thoughts on today's conference?
Very informative, very inspirational. I was just this is my first seminar to attend.
Okay.
And I was just overwhelmed, just to see so many people, our people, black people, doing positive things and just jumping in the pool and taking huge risks, starting their own businesses, and just networking and just working with people. Just found it very interesting.
Which panels did you attend this far? Because
I attended.
Yeah, we did. We did breakout sessions already.
Yeah, we did breakout sessions already.
Did Derek Fleming?
Did Derek Fleming?
Okay.
That one.
Which one, sparked the interest to you the most thus far?
I mean, I can't put my finger on just one. I took away from different panelists, and just to give me the motivation. I'm in that transitional phase. Because I'm from the old school, you have to have just find a good job and to be successful. But when I was in Atlanta, we started a summer camp Troy, where we branched out, and that's when I actually felt real good. So we were out there doing community work, putting the program out there and marketing and fundraising and doing all that. That's when I just felt the most, joy.
Gotcha.
doing my own thing,
Mm-hmm.
and still had the job, but still able to do the other.
So are you still doing Camp Troy now up here, or?
No, it's actually in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
Where hopefully if we can get it up here.
Uh-huh.
Right now, it's in Atlanta, Georgia.
And how long have you been in New York?
I've been in New York now for 7 years.
Okay. All right, cool. So you're an entrepreneur, basically.
Okay.
I mean, let's call it what it is.
Let's call it what it is.
Okay, so I mean, what are if there's an entrepreneur right now watching, what can you share with them as far as some challenges to overcome, or some tips on becoming an entrepreneur?
I mean, just for the most part, make sure you do your research, network with people, and just don't be afraid to fail.
Right.
Don't be afraid to say you don't know something. You may not be an expert in certain areas, but you know people. The information is out there from the internet, Facebook. You can network. People who know people who know people, and you can just get the information. So I would just say, just come out and just talk to people, and you'll be surprised what you could learn.
Tell me more about Camp Troy.
Camp Troy, we started this back in, say, 2002.
Right.
It's actually I worked at a private school, and it just started out as something for just to help the parents out,
Mm-hmm.
who still wanted they still had their jobs and they needed something for their kids to do. So we just went out and partnered. His name is Troy Feimster, and Troy stands for Today's Righteous Outstanding Youth.
Gotcha.
So that's where that name came from. And we started out. We were very lucky and fortunate that we were able to use the school space in the summer.
Right.
So everything just happened to just fall into place. So we didn't really have to find a space and actually pay for the space. We were able to use the space, and the kids would come and we had enrichment activities, and also take them out on field trips and exploring throughout all throughout Metro Atlanta, and just to see how folks in various communities live, because we also work with some of the inner city kids in Atlanta, Metro Atlanta also.
Well, good luck to you, and thanks for coming on and sharing the story. All right. Okay. Take care. Nice meeting you. Cool.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Where's Steven at? Go get Steve. Take some pictures. Steve, come take some photos.
Huh?
Come take some photos.
Oh, okay. With my shoe. Any cookies in those boxes?
You know what? I was thinking the
There
same
is,
thing.
but I don't know
Which
if
box?
this lady left this here and she wants it back. I
Oh, okay.
Don't
Yeah,
take
yeah.
a woman's cookie.
Yeah,
though.
that's
That'll be a big
Don't
fight.
take a woman's cookie.
Fight. I might get
She
shot.
might be looking forward to that. That might be the
Yeah,
big
yeah.
dirty snack.
That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. What am I shooting?
Huh?
What am I shooting?
Glad's
me,
wife.
Patrice, and Adrian.
Okay.
Talking is.
Huh?
I don't know how you talk so long.
No, this guy.
I see though. I see the energy.
This dude got a set of lungs on him.
Glad's wife. It was like 9 o'clock. It was up here.
Yeah, a coffee shop.
Nah,
A Monster.
Don't better not say that. This guy.
Red Bull.
Wake up. you the one that went to sign up, Walter. Walter Cronkite. You too.
All right, guys.
Thank you guys.
All right.
Oh my God.
I'm just messing with
You see, Larry King, Dick Clark, Ryan Seacrest. You think 8 hours of work? is
That dude just
nothing.
died, right?
Yeah, Dick Clark died.
Yeah.
But Ryan Seacrest, he's on.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Ryan Seacrest, when he gets tired, he just starts saying crazy things on camera.
Wow.
That's what.
He has like a radio show.
In LA, right?
Huh?
LA show,
Out
right?
of LA, yeah.
Just want to take some pics.
You
Then
got
he
about
has-
10 jobs.
Yeah. Then he got the
Are we taking pictures live on live?
Yeah.
Oh.
Taking pictures right now.
Yeah.
You gotta document this stuff, man.
I am looking forward to eating.
Did you eat the first time?
Nah, man.
Oh, get out of here.
I think it's better so I get
I don't
the
think.
middle,
Is there a second
middle
round?
height.
Is there a second round?
No, it can't be like this, and it's like short and low.
So what do you
How do we do it?
No, she has to be in the center. Patrice has to be in the center. And we can still see the Way 45 t-shirt, so it's fine.
From tall to small. I was the smallest one.
Hey, welcome to my world.
I don't want to be in your world.
I don't want to be here either, but
He does it fine.
should have drank more milk when I was a kid. Okay, y'all know each other, so y'all.
Yeah, we know each other.
Nobody has pink eye today. The pink eye crew over here.
Gang signs.
Yeah.
Oh, can we do it? Let's do it.
Okay.
If you don't mind. If you don't mind.
Oh, please.
Come on, dude. Come on. You
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted to do like.
Nah.
Bring it up.
perfect
Right.
it.
Let's perfect it.
Yeah.
All right.
Beautiful.
Come on in.
Jess, come take some pictures. Are you getting?
Where you been?
We're getting it.
You keep vanishing.
You got Demetria, right?
Yeah. I
Awesome.
didn't have Demetria. I had
Alright,
Demetria.
cool.
I had
You
Kevin.
got Ash Cash?
Did he
I got Ash Cash.
Did Kevin take you upstairs? That balcony?
Yeah, we're gonna do the
That's nice
either
up
the
there.
outro or the one with Kyle there. We only have two more. We have Damon.
Okay.
Oh, we gotta get Kyle.
Yeah, Damon and Kyle. Those are
All right,
two.
cool.
I'll let them know. Oh, go ahead.
Huh?
Take
Oh.
it about some later.
Good. All right, Pat, come on.
1, 2, 3, quick.
All right, you stay here. We'll all take pictures.
I forgot.
You get in the middle.
Yeah, glad I was in the middle now.
I forgot that sometimes I blonde.
She right in so many places.
Got it.
Cool. All right, cool.
Thank you, Stephen Knight.
That is our.
The photographer of the year goes to, ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Knight.
Yeah, I was kind of going for the decade.
Photographer of the Decade Award goes to
That's a drum roll?
Stephen Knight.
Decade? I was kind of going for the century.
It's like a decade and 2 years.
Someone can take a picture for you.
Yeah.
No, it's always fun to do like this. Oh, no, come on. No glare, no
MySpace
thanks.
gangster.
What's that? The griot gang symbol?
The Creole.
Yeah,
Bye.
the
You
Photographer of the Century Award.
This guy took your water bottle out the shot too. You know that, right?
Oh,
Steven.
I need some
Like, can I take the water bottle out the shot?
MySpace gangster.
Oh,
I don't know how
I'm
you.
your screensaver.
That's dope. I love that. How did you do that with one hand though? Because that's a huge
Huh?
camera. Like,
Years of
I'm
practice,
gonna
dog.
keep doing that. I know it's tiring. So we'll take a little break.
so how you been? I like that.
Very good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's a screensaver. Yeah, we were in here. I'm so beat.
That's why.
Did you eat? You ate, right? You
Yeah,
ate?
I've been eating all day.
You eat the box split it, Jamie. I can't remember.
No, because I didn't get it.
Oh, you didn't get
I
it?
have no cows. Just ordered a chicken sandwich for me.
Oh, you can't get food in here, right?
Yeah, they deliver.
There's a cafeteria. Oh, I thought you
He
meant the
has
cafeteria.
it.
Though.
Calvin eat.
I bet he
didn't
did.
eat.
You said he ordered Mexican food?
No, a deli. He
Oh.
was getting a chicken sandwich. Hungry.
Oh, I need a
We
Guinness.
got two more. We did two. I like Tamika Flowers Holland. I like
Yeah, she's
her.
dope.
Did we get her?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember her face.
She is cool.
Yeah.
She wants me to go see her panel. I'll stop by like 5 minutes.
3 o'clock, right? Oh,
Rhea-
3:45.
Rhea
3:45.
Hall was also.
It's a little lull period.
Yeah.
I'm talking to the camera. I'm talking to
Yeah.
Mia Hall was
Oh, is
also
it on?
right.
Still on.
She
Still
was-
streaming.
Fun.
Which one was that?
Mia Hall, she
So dope.
is into sports and sports management.
Oh,
she
yeah,
writes
yeah.
for Black Enterprise sometimes. She was cool. Mia
You got
Hall.
her card?
Mia Hall.
Is your
yeah.
phone glad? Oh, it's your phone. It's your phone.
What did she do?
Writer.
Sports, yeah.
Mhm.
Sports
I
management.
like her.
Yeah.
Anybody into sports?
She does sports writing for Black Enterprise.
I don't know what she does for them, but her main job, like she does like sports management. This is her card.
I need to talk to a sports writer because
Yeah.
for my
Well,
job
I'm
of representing.
Yeah, you should probably
Yeah,
look her
yeah,
up.
yeah.
She's on
Probably
Twitter
look out the
too.
way.
I need to like a
Yeah,
serious
about
sports
to.
report
You
now.
gotta.
It spills over and that's
Quick
it.
little impromptu.
$3,000 down the drain over a $2 bottle of water.
Mia Hall, there she is.
Oh, there you go. I just talked you up. That's up.
Yeah. Do you do sports writing?
Yes.
What outlets do you do?
Right now, just Black Enterprise.
I'm thinking.
How you gonna?
because-
We're gonna have a full night. You gonna
Do
not
they have
gonna
to
eat?
be black to be in?
I feel like I
No.
just ate
Okay.
She's telling me you're gonna go to the
No,
show.
because I do PR
Without eating,
and I'm
she's telling me.
representing the president of
And
the
then afterwards
South
drink
Winter
vodka.
Olympics.
Of the Winter Olympics?
Yeah,
what
organizing
time
the
is it?
What time is it going?
Come on in.
I feel like I'm not ready right now.
No,
okay.
it's
So I just
like
got
this
him
thing
in
ends at 5.
Sports Illustrated.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find a board
Yeah,
like
by then I'll be
business outlets where we talk about the business side of it.
Yeah.
You know, like the economic growth that's going to happen in Russia,
Actually, they might break down
all of
over
that
there.
stuff. Of course, talk
Right,
about
over here,
like
get it.
sports.
What's
We
that?
talk about London.
The next
So
panel.
yeah. Would you want to write? Would you want to
Which one you
interview?
got?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, like, I'll, you know,
I'll send
my
you a
edits,
pitch.
but
Yeah.
Let me, you have a card?
No, I sent you a pitch. I'm like, Mom, I always think about work my whole life. Take
So-
me everywhere.
So no, you're with
Weber Shandwick. Oh yeah, well I'm with Crime Magazine,
Uh-huh.
and my day job, like 9 to 5, is Weber Shandwick.
Did you see the last one? Did you see the last one from the at the
Oh, okay.
Hey, where's that place
Yeah,
on the
I'm
armor?
Crime.
You
So
see
I
that thing
do
y'all set up?
Crime, I'm an oxygen.
I sent it- I sent it-
Yeah,
Totally
glasses.
Okay, cool.
person as well.
Right.
Full circle. And you're with Black Enterprise and
I'm the high school sports management. So we have a website that I'm engaged to, and we have a YouTube channel and like our blog and do everything there too. But that's what your kids, yeah.
fun.
I mean, and then my personal blog too.
Yeah, we can do this all sports.
We're gonna find out right now.
Pretty much. Yeah.
You just love sports.
Yeah, and like the business side of it, really, you know,
Yeah.
like I like tapping into that.
Yeah.
And sports stars that also have philanthropical efforts and things
I
like
love that.
So,
So far.
That's so cool. You know, you ever heard of Positive Choices Football Camp? It's in DC, and it's this organization that basically promotes sports and the schools and with young people trying to get kids more active. And so every year, it's like their 8th year,
You're on my hit
they
list
do
of people
a
that
football camp.
Oh,
They
really?
bring in, like,
Yeah.
they just like real athletes, you know, with college athletes as well.
We're like
To do this
seeing, you know, people who want to do live stream, whatever.
Like
I
I
saw we got that
was
like some good
and a
process.
friend of mine just organized it, like called Positive Choices.
What do you mean for
Football
like?
camp, and then like
Just to
after
like talk about what
they
you're
have like
doing.
this
I know.
session, and then they have like, you know, it's like after
Within the next 24 hours.
Oh yeah, she
inner
will.
city, you know.
Okay, I'm gonna hit her.
It's
She's
necessary,
right now.
you know, they actually have in their schools like a football field.
No, not now. She's
Practice
leaving
it.
Wednesday.
And you have like these celebrity athletes come out, and like NFL
One of their
players, you
websites.
know,
Right.
who we fly out on
But she'll be back
and
at
teach them
So she might be good.
That's
Okay. I'm gonna reach out to her.
The only,
I
yeah,
I'm just like working through the list and I haven't gotten to you.
I mean, I would like to only cover, not only, my passion is education and youth. But I was listening to, like, at a sports symposium, they were talking about, like, why don't we hear about more sports stories and things like that, you know, are like local and things like that. And this was like in December, and they were like, because, you know, nobody wants to be. And that's what I'm saying. It's like they can cover it, but, you know, they were like, everybody wants to see, you know, the biggest celebrities doing, you know, like dirt and entertainment news and basketball wise and things like that. Like, that's a big problem. So
How do you feel about basketball?
I mean, it's just, I mean, I don't watch it only because.
Let's have a conversation. Is it streaming?
Yes.
We're about to talk because she's in sports and I have a question.
Oh, that should be great.
Okay.
Everybody,
Oh, you
check
got
some
one?
magazine.
Yeah.
Move in.
Come on. Yeah, we're gonna have a little talk show session. All right. So I'm here with Mia Hall. I don't want to call you Mia Ham. Mia Ham.
Me and him is soccer, yeah.
Okay.
Like a superstar, yeah.
You guys are good.
Okay, I'm Jessica with Crime Magazine, and we're here with Mia Hall, who is everything sports. So right now in the media, there is a huge controversy over basketball wives. I mean, we're talking about bullying. I never thought a show about being a wife of a basketball player could touch so many different things.
Me either.
And impact so many different groups of people.
Exactly.
So I just want to get your take on it because I have a personal opinion, but I don't know if my opinion is just because I take everything personally, but what do you think about what's going on right now in terms of the bullying, the fact that the wives are not wives, you know, that and genuine nature of what if you're gonna have a show about basketball wives, what it should be?
So there is certainly a positive side of basketball wives, and we were kind of speaking about this, but I think that the creators, wanted to capitalize off celebrity and, Real Housewives, that's where it all started from, the, Real Housewives of ... and Basketball Wives was a great way to, go into behind the scenes of these wives. But then it turned into something that probably nobody would have thought of. First of all, many of them are not basketball wives, and many of them are girlfriends or baby mothers or ex-wives, basketball ex-wives now. But and then the fighting and everything, it's almost like a Jerry Springer, but basketball wives version. So now I think the titillation of, seeing fighting and, people arguing and the bullying and, calling people out, it's just, I think it's exploitation right now.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it has turned into that, and unfortunately, they don't show all of the basketball wives that run their husbands' foundations, or even the football wives. Lauren Tuck, Justin Tuck's wife, she just went to school at the University of Pennsylvania for a year to take nonprofit management. But they would never show that story. They only show the bad side of ex-wives that are fighting and things like that and bullying people, and this has just turned into a lot. And I know that some of the people on the show I've heard well, I won't get paid if I'm not on the show and if the show doesn't run and things like that. But it's just what's the exchange for that? And then what are young girls growing up to look up to? Do you want to grow up to be just somebody's trophy and things like that? So it just puts out an image out there that I'm a little worried that, what are our young people going to have to look up to?
I find it very interesting, the evolution of the show, because I've watched every season. And there was always some bickering, but there was a huge focus the first season on relationships and how to be in a relationship with the basketball player and all the crying and the tears and the pain that you go through. And then the groupie factor, it kind of gave an inside look into the relationship component of being with an athlete. I don't see now it's like basketball wives, even if they're not wives, it's just, where's the basketball? There's no basketball. I haven't seen one basketball the whole season. Not one basketball. Have anybody else seen a basketball? Not even a basketball player. I haven't even.
Well, they don't want to sully their name.
No, but Eric was on there throwing drinks in Jen's face, which was messed up.
Not.
But I haven't even seen that. At least it was an athlete. Now there's not even a basketball. Not even not one mention of a basketball player. Now it's just the show. I'm gonna call it the show. And I watch it. I have to stay in tune with what's going on in the entertainment world. But the fact that this is considered entertainment is fascinating. When you look at the evolution of television, of entertainment, and you have these shows come on.
So your panel starts at 3.
And there's no baskbasketball. Or no basketball player. Then you have a football player. And it's just amazing. Right. But how interestingly enough, how the bully aspect, because if you look at what's been happening over the past year, there's been this huge attention to bullying, kids committing suicide, and that movie Bully is out, and all these other things.
So, you're gonna segue into business or something?
We gonna segue into bullying?
No, business.
We're gonna segue into business right now. We have a new guest.
Yeah,
we're gonna let Vladimir take back over the seat.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing the seat.
But no, thank you for telling me, and sharing your opinion about the show.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing your opinion. I just want to get it from a sports perspective. Because I'm just a consumer of the media. Bye, Wave 45. All right, we have Vladimir back. Introducing
They loved it. That was great.
Sorry, you know how we talk about basketball wives, we get taken away. Sorry, that was a girl moment. That was girl. Glad this is what you're going to have to go through when you have wife and child and you have girl moments. You're going to be like, talk about sports. Basketball wives.
Glad will make himself knowledgeable about sports just to get away from that conversation. He's like, I never watched basketball a day in my life, but today I start.
Crazy.
It's coming. Wife tea parties, cocktail parties. You're like, basketball wives.
Hood. Yeah. My mother calls everybody hood. No, not everybody.
Call it what?
Hood.
Yeah,
Hood. Not everybody, but only close friends. Wait,
Yeah.
at the tail end, that's people put like pudding for sure. I think that's not what
No, that wasn't that. That was
That might have been Basketball Wild then?
No, that was Love and Hip Hop.
Love
that
and
was
Hip
Yandy.
Alright,
she
so
woke
we
up.
are here with Miss Yoli. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Cameron, say hi. We're live on Wave45.tv.
It's Queen's wedding.
Second annual Rising Affluent Conference. You are moderating the Healthy Living, Successful Living panel.
Yes.
What are some of the main points that you want to get across that you're going to be asking with some of the panelists today?
At the end of the day, people just want to know what they can do to be healthy and still maintain their grind and their hustle and their focus, but also do it in a healthy and sustainable way.
For sure.
So you can grind all you want. You can do the 24-hour all-nighter.
Yeah.
But after a certain while, the body just is gonna tell you no, you can't do it.
Yes.
So I rather people focus on ways they can maintain their health and still be productive. So that way they can. The healthier you are, the more productive you are.
Right.
So, and intuitively, you would think people would say, okay, if I take care of myself, I'll make more money. But that's not necessarily an intuitive sense. They think, oh, I just keep going hard, and then I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Right.
But you may actually be shortening your lifespan by having that kind of mentality. So I think I want to have the panelists focus on giving everyone everyday tips that they can do at their job, or if they're an entrepreneur, and ways to make their job more conducive to a healthy life.
Got you. Now, you were just honored by Black Enterprise, honored and recognized by Black Enterprise by your blog. Tell everybody your blog and where they can find you, and a little bit about your blog.
My blog is Yoli's Green Living, so that's YOLIS, greenliving.com, and I focus on green living. What that means is living your life in a more sustainable way. Sustainability, especially for people of color, I think is something that's very intuitive. But because of modernization and trying to live this fast-paced life, we've forgotten kind of the very fundamental things that have kept us on this earth all these years. Just simple things like using glass water bottles versus plastic, or keeping your food in glass containers versus putting it in some plastic container from the Chinese food store. The easiest thing I also do for people is to show them how to shop and save money when they're shopping for healthy food, because everyone bids and it's so expensive to save money on food. I'm like, did you know Whole Foods has coupons? They have a coupon booklet in their store that you can use.
Right.
Trader Joe's accepts manufacturer coupons. There are lots of stores, and there are healthy food coupons for basically any food you want. You just have to ask.
Right.
If you ask the right companies, they will send you coupons. And there's stuff online all the time. There's food co-ops where you can buy things in bulk. So I educate people about these little small details that actually make a huge difference in their everyday life.
And what led you to this path on, this healthy path, if you will?
A bet.
Huh?
A bet.
A bet.
A bet.
Tell me about it.
I was dating someone and trying to make an impression, and at the time he was like vegetarian, vegan, and he challenged me. He said, I bet you can't be vegan for a week. And I said, I bet you I can. So I did it for a week.
Okay.
And then after the first week, I noticed I felt different.
Wow.
I was like, okay, I feel different. Let me try it for a little bit longer. And I tried it for a little bit longer. And weeks turned into months, and months turned into years, and years turned into me being a chef and owning a catering business for 8 years, and transitioning out of that to the writing world. I've always been writing in the food world and in the music industry in my former life. I was a creative director for Wu-Tang for a short stint. But yeah, all that transitioned into this whole healthy living. I realized that eating healthy wasn't enough. It's a total lifestyle shift, and it's not just, I eat granola and I wear Birkenstocks and put flowers in my hair and go to Woodstock. It's really what I sleep on makes a huge difference. How I sleep what time I go to school. Like starting from the real fundamentals of that and then building up from there. You start where you lay your head, and then you can add on to the more things like composting. That's something really foreign to people, but it's actually really helpful to the environment, and you feel better because you're not wasting. If you don't compost, like I have a bin that I just got from a company where you can store all your food scraps, and then at the end of the week, you go and just drop it off to your local composting drop-off point. And what that does is helps with people who want to garden and grow food. They distribute it to school gardens and stuff, because composting, that decomposing, actually goes back into the earth and is a source of food for
That's awesome.
plants.
2 or 3 food you should absolutely stay away from.
Oh, I can't do that. I'll tell you 2 or 3 foods that you must absolutely add into your diet.
Okay.
First is quinoa. It's one of the most whole, complete grains. It has protein, minerals, vitamins. To me, if you cook it a certain way, it actually is a good replacement for couscous. Because couscous is pasta, but you want to people are like, oh, no carbs. Well, if you want to have a good carb, quinoa is like the ultimate of all foods. Next is chia seeds. Chia seeds are little black seeds. They look like poppy seeds. When you put them in a liquid, they become gelatinous. So they're good to keep you hydrated, but what most people don't know is chia seeds, 2 tablespoons of chia seeds has as much calcium as a glass of milk. They also have the highest number of omega-3s, omega-6, and it actually aids in weight loss because it helps you feel fuller quicker, and it also keeps you more hydrated. So people drink, well, you don't have to drink as much, but it's helpful. Chia seeds became like big when they went to Mexico and they were studying some of the runners there, and it helped them maintain hydration while they were running in high altitudes and everything. So those are 2 absolute must foods to add to your diet.
Awesome. How was your what do you think about you being celebrated in honor for Black Enterprise?
I think it's cool. I was just like, really? Me? I was like, it was me? And that, like, I'm not deserving of it, but sometimes when you're working behind like what you're doing and you're paying attention, you don't realize that other people are paying attention. And then when to be acknowledged in that way is such a humbling and appreciative and motivating factor that I appreciate it, because I've always looked at Black Enterprise as like a standard for people in business, especially Black folks in business and developing your brands. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. And I went to one of their job forums. I didn't realize someone was paying attention. I just thought, the people who follow you and the people you have organic relationships with in social media. I'm like, okay, those are the people who are paying attention. But I didn't realize there's a bigger scope. So it definitely makes me more aware and encourages me to work harder and provide more information for people so they really get what it means. And green living isn't just for white people and hippies. It's for everybody.
Exactly. Well, thank you for coming on. Ms. Jolie's doing the health panel today at the 2nd annual Rising Affluent Conference. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Anytime.
Perfect timing.
Ash Cat.
Vlad, what's up, brother?
What's up?
So I have a dynamic panelist who's gonna come on later, and she wants to be live streamed. Like, let's make it happen. Like, we gotta make it happen.
How you doing?
Hi, I'm Dione Cespedes.
Vladimir, what's your name?
Dione.
Oh, hi, Dione.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And what's your name?
Vladimir.
Vladimir.
Yes.
Like Vladimir with a G.
With a G.
Vladimir.
Yes. So, you're going to go speak right now, or would you like to be interviewed now?
We can do it now because I've got a little bit of time, right?
Yeah, a little bit of time. Because we're supposed to go at 3:50, so
okay.
3:40, and I don't even think we're going to 3:50, but.
All right, so now.
I love it. How are you?
All right, did I ask you any hard questions?
No, not at all. This is going to be fun.
Don't forget.
Dione?
Hi, how are you? Dione Cespedes from Soul
My
Strivers.
partner, Patrice.
Nice to meet you, Patrice.
How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
So, Dione, we are live on Wait45.tv. How you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Hello,
how are you?
What time does the panel start?
Our panel.
Or did you speak already?
I did not speak already.
Okay. What time does the panel start?
We were supposed to start at 3:50, but we're back.
Okay.
About 1 p.m.
And what are you going to be talking about this afternoon?
I'm going to be talking about how to increase your net worth. I run a wealth literacy company, and what we do is we help individuals understand how to increase their net worth from zero, or sometimes less than zero, up to about $150,000. And we do that through career strategy, through entrepreneurship, and through behavior changes. So behavior changes is not just spending habits, which everybody thinks of, but also earning habits. Are you earning as much as you possibly can do?
Wow, and what led you to this path?
I started out in goal attainment, which was basically helping people understand how to go from dream to reality. And because of the financial crisis, the dream that most people wanted to get to was increasing their net worth and stabilizing their position. Some of them had experienced layoffs, others hadn't experienced layoffs but were a little nervous about their position in corporate. And then I had some entrepreneurs who wanted to maximize their revenue. So we started taking the dream system, which is the way we teach people to go from dream to reality, and applying that to the increase in net worth. So the dream system has 5 steps. It's dream big, research, evaluate, act, and measure. So we started taking that system and applying it to goals that had financial implications.
So it's taking one certain components and another set of components and kind of merging it to get you to where you want to get to.
Absolutely.
Wow. So what's some of your main points that, we talked about what you discussed earlier, but what's some other main points that you want to talk about in today's panel?
I think the most important thing to remember, especially for people who are younger than 40, is that trying to figure out your career path is great, and trying to reach that perfect job or that perfect business, that's great. But on the way, it's important to begin saving money for future investments, saving money for retirement, because your dollars, when you're younger, your dollars are worth more than they will be worth when you are in your 40s, 50s, and 60s. So your dollar today, if you're 25, your dollar today could be worth $20 to $60, depending on how you invest that money. So $1 today could be worth, like I said, $30 to $40 or so down the line. So it's important that while you're finding the perfect job, that you start putting away money from the imperfect job. It's possible to build up to $100,000 if you're making minimum wage. And this is how you would do it. If you're making $7.25 an hour, right? And you're working 40 hours, you take that 40 hours and pay off whatever expenses you have, and then you work another 30 hours for 8 years, and take all of that money and put it aside. And at the end of the day, even after taxes, you can have your base $100,000 or more, which is what you need to begin making bigger investments, like investments in real estate or investments in businesses, etc.
So you work with entrepreneurs and small businesses as well?
Yes.
To reach their goals?
Yes, I work with individuals.
Okay.
So some of those individuals have regular jobs, some of them are entrepreneurs, and then I also have a subset of clients who are small businesses. And I do a lot of work with the National Minority Business Council. And through them, we work on how to increase their revenues. That's everything from looking at their marketing, to looking at their product and the way that they deliver their products and services. But for this group, I really want to focus on how the individual increases his or her net worth, and the importance of not waiting until things are perfect to begin saving money.
Right. So after you give them their assessment, the individuals or those small businesses, because everybody's goals are different.
Yes.
How long does that process take as going through your steps?
It depends on the goal, but if you can use that 5-step system to work on a goal that's 3 months long, or to work on a goal that's 5 years long. What is important is learning how to do it, understanding the importance of figuring out what you want to do and not censoring yourself. Saying, I want to do this and not worrying about how you're going to get it done or where the money's going to come from. Then going into a research phase where you actually talk to people who have successfully achieved what you're trying to achieve. And then from there, once you have that research, then you start to evaluate and narrow down and say, okay, well, do I really want the first goals that I talked about? But until you figure out from people who have done it successfully how to reach your goals, you can't start saying this isn't, I can't do this and I don't have money for that. You don't know yet. So once you learn that way of thinking, which is throw it out there, figure out how it gets done from people who know how to do it.
Have the blueprint.
Have a blueprint, and then start to evaluate what you're going to do, and then put together an action plan, and then every couple of months look at your action plan and say, are these actions getting me to the goal?
Right.
That's a method that you can use time after time to get any of your goals, whether they're financial goals or personal goals.
Your services are definitely needed. Tell everybody where they can find you. Twitter.com.
Yes, you can find me at SoulStrivers, SOLESTRIVERS on Twitter. You can find me at soulstrivers.wordpress.com. You can find me at soulstrivers.com. You can find me on Facebook at SoulStrivers. Just remember SOLESTRIVERS. And then you can find me on all social networks and online. And I also write for various blogs, including Bob Johnson's Ops Place. You can find me there every Monday. OPPSPLACE.com.
Awesome. Ms. Dione, showing you how to build your network. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. That wasn't so bad, right?
No, it wasn't. I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys.
Definitely. All right. Dione on Way45.tv. All right. Cool.
Awesome.
So do we have your information?
Do you have a card?
Yes.
Let's have it. You and so many great people, right, guys?
Yeah, we do live streams on Way45.tv every night. So, if you want to come on, it'll be a half-hour live stream on what you're doing and your service. You're more than welcome.
Sure, I'd love to. And, I will.
All you need is a, laptop with a webcam, really, to get you going. And that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would definitely like to do that, and what I will do is, because I'm doing a lot of interesting stuff with the Dream System, where we're expanding it, and we've got a whole bunch of mnemonic things, like your money's in the ATMs, your attention, your time, your money, your social networks, all that good stuff. And it's stuff that we need to know earlier than later.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
So now, who's can you tell who's watching? How many people are on there?
I can't tell. We're just.
I haven't checked the stream yet. To see how many views. That's a great question. I haven't looked at.
I know people are tweeting.
People are tweeting. So I'm like surprised because in my mind I have to tell myself that we're alone, but people are like, "We see you." I'm like, "You do?"
Yeah.
So I should stop.
Yeah, we're live right
now. So
now
that we're chatting, they
we're
just
live.
see you chatting with nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, then,
Well, yes, I will.
Coming to chat with me, Nicole?
No.
All right, lovely.
All right.
Thank you so much.
For sure.
Do I have something with your stuff,
Yes.
or are you going to reach me?
So this card goes to all three of us.
Okay,
And
wonderful.
we'll definitely reach out too. But we'll get, if you email that, the three of us get it, and we're on top of it.
Me, Patrice, and Adrian. He's got the Way 45 shirt on.
Okay.
So we do Way 45.
Cool. We'll come hang out. Maybe do a couple of exercises so people can sort of get involved.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Are you ready for your panel?
Yes, I have to figure out when that is.
Yeah, because they just started the other ones like 15 minutes ago.
I promised Tamika I'd go to the Healthy Living.
That's a good one.
They started it already? They didn't start it yet? They're late. Okay, they're late.
They just started Creative Dreams.
Look at this guy. I'm interviewing this guy?
Let's see what's going on.
Hey, boy, wow. Good, brother.
What's going on, man?
How you been?
Good.
Awesome?
Yeah.
Chilling with Nick, Way45.tv, live. How's it been going thus far? You been here all day?
I've been here. I got here a little late. It's hard to get here on a Saturday
Beautiful
morning.
Saturday.
Especially when there's a late happy hour Friday.
So how's it been thus far?
It's really good.
Okay.
It's
Which
really
panels
good.
have you
It's
attended?
better than expected. I don't even quote all the names, but a lot of it is about kind of finding your interest, your dreams, and trying to make that transition into that space. Regardless of your backgrounds, your circumstances, and what's going on with you. So
are you looking to take that leap of faith in entrepreneurialism, or are you just looking for that passion before you do take that?
I think it's a little bit of both, right? You want to find that crossroads where this makes sense now. The passion is pulling me. I don't really have that interest as much here in the corporate world as I used to, and now's the time to do it. That's what you try to find, and I think a lot of people are elaborating that in just different ways. How they figured out that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Some people were, doing their 9 to 5, and they were putting all these extra hours in outside of work, sometimes more hours than they're doing it at work, which is like, you just realize at some point something's got to give, right?
Yeah.
Either I have to make a decision at some point, and for a lot of people on the panel, that was their thing, and there was others who just went cold. They just said, this isn't for me, and they just went for it. And it was really hard. They didn't have money,
Right.
But
keep it honest.
That kind of circumstance made them persevere more, and they kept it honest that it wasn't an easy road, but they made it to where they did.
What panel are you going to check out next? Because we still have literally another couple more hours left, right?
So actually,
which one's
right now is the creativity one. Right, I had stuff. I'd wait 45 just to say stuff, and I'm actually into that because
tell them a little bit about yourself, because you are into the whole creative thing.
Yeah, I work in a financial firm by trade. I'm in technology in that financial firm. So as of lately, I'm a project manager there.
Right.
But on the side, I like doing a lot of photography and videography. See a guy here who has a 5D, and he has equipment that I'm interested in. So it's interesting. Everybody's here looking at the panels. I'm looking at all the equipment and stuff, and I have a passion for that. I don't think I'll ever lose that passion. So there's always an interest in trying to do that and pursue that on the side. Definitely. But you just don't know where it's going to take you. And a lot of things they're saying here is, try it, experience it, see where it goes. And you really don't know how it's going to build up.
Yeah.
And so part of this discovery phase is just figuring out how would it build up. Yeah.
Right.
Some people started off just doing little blogs. They were on their own, some blog that's no name, and then it got acquired by a bigger blog company, and blew up from there. So that's my background, and it's kind of my passion mainly.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, and enjoy the rest of the day in the panel for sure.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right.
No doubt. Thanks for the support too.
Welcome, man.
All right. Cool.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Wait 45 all day.
Nicole, come here. Let's take a picture.
All right, man.
We're just gonna take a picture.
You got that.
I'm not gonna record you. Don't worry.
Yeah. So you shoot with 5D as well?
Yeah, 5D Mark II.
Yeah.
I see another guy that got the Mark III.
Yeah.
All right. Now I got her camera.
New camera out.
Yeah. My camera.
It's called Black
Even
Magic
better.
Digital Cinema Camera. Have you heard of it yet?
Nah.
It just came out. It's a Black Magic. It's a new. It's not Canon.
One in the video.
Black Magic is the name of
Good. Good.
Hey.
Just one in the picture.
You got that.
It's like
That's
you're
all you
shooting
right there. That's
But
your interview right there.
So
little girl,
it's
like
like
what?
It's like you're shooting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so, the look that comes out, it's like it looks
Baby
just like you're
steps.
shooting on
Exactly.
35 millimeter.
Slowly but surely.
Okay.
But you're shooting digitally, and it's
Need
only
some coffee.
like $29.
Really?
Yeah.
Glad
they haven't started selling
you
it
guys
yet.
saw that? Yeah, I saw that.
Still, I
It's
guess
the music,
doing some
boy.
test
We
runs
do
on
it all. We talk, we
But it's
dance.
definitely been at the expositions and the different.
We had some
expos
great
and
conversations.
things like that.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Black Magic is the name of the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanna.
See if there's an app for perking up.
Yeah, let me
Perk up
write it
app.
down.
Perking up.
Perk up
Black
app.
Magic
Wake me up, phone.
digital cinema camera.
Something like that.
So what's up?
It makes the
You
5D
good?
footage looks like
You tired?
the backyard.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's been a long day.
It's like
It's
you're
been a
shooting
long
on
week.
red.
You
It's less
guys have
expensive.
something going on after this?
dinner.
That's really changing fast, man.
It's changing really quick. I'm trying to figure out how they plan on making money.
I know what you doing.
Oh yeah. How they plan, because
Guinness.
It seems like it costs a lot of money to produce a quality image. I'm sitting on the roof. You know what I mean? You're only selling a camera at $2,900.
Nothing.
It's quiet up there. I went and had a Guinness and just hung out, caught my breath, and came back.
Right.
Maybe that's smart. Because
It's nice. It's nice to be quiet.
You know, the demand's going to go up, and they're going to start raising the prices, I think.
So what do you use now? I'm at the video.
It didn't stop you before. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, one of my friends that plays around on Premiere. Final Cut is that it's really difficult.
Oh yeah,
the videos are really, really large.
Yeah, you gotta transcode everything.
Yeah, you gotta transcode it, and it's really difficult. Like sometimes if you're not careful, if you want a small video, it's really compressed. So you really have to be careful when you edit it.
What my change?
But I love Final Cut.
Yeah.
Final Cut and Avid is what I really.
Okay.
Because I get down on Final Cut and Avid.
What is Avid?
Avid is usually it's like an industry standard in the film and news world.
The health panel?
It's really complex, but it really keeps your videos organized. Just it's especially if you're editing like a feature, like documentary, or if you're editing a really big project, it helps you organize all the footage really well. So you can, for instance, if you're like organizing your shots, you say you want B-roll here, you want just sun and landscape shots here. You just keep it all organized. It's all under the same timeline. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to. It's not just on one level like it is on Final Cut. You don't know where your footage is. It's really, really organized. It's really difficult to learn because it's the most complex. But once you learn it, it's the best.
All right, I'm gonna try that route.
Avid Media
I'm
is it's the best.
When you start talking, when you're talking, nobody else.
Shots. I make like a compelling slideshow.
Great day,
I would say Avid's a good move. Avid's a really good move. Final Cut Express.
He seems mad
Try to check out. Final Cut Express is like.
I think you're hungry.
Where's my cat?
It comes with Final Cut editing, color grading, motion graphics.
Ready to go. Ready to go.
But if you're just trying to edit on the timeline, which is what most people just do. Final Cut Express is like $100.
Yeah.
But the whole studio suite is like $1,000. But those are for people who are going to be doing color grading, and, you know, all that. Like I would suggest just getting Express because I know for me, I rarely use motion. I like to use After Effects, Adobe. So I think I waste a little money.
Are you good with After Effects?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be right back, folks. You could always tweet at us at Wave45TV. Little down period right now. Yeah, we're streaming live.
Yeah, we are.
People can hear everything you just said.
Just to let you know.
You just mentioned your social security number. All that got picked up. Just waiting for a couple panels to close out. We bring out some panelists, some attendees to get their thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
You can tweet at us at Wave45TV. Any questions, comments, concerns? Yeah.
Looks good. Does look good.
Oh man. No, but I am hungry. That's word.
We're gonna eat now. We're gonna eat.
I could eat a whole horse right now. So.
You guys didn't eat sandwich later, but they
I mean,
you guys are guys.
I didn't get no
You had a half hour.
You don't gotta say it.
Huh?
You gotta say it.
A second email?
Website.
Oh no.
Okay.
I don't. I just got out of school. I don't have the money. I've been trying to save up.
His ways.
No, I had this guy who designed this webpage for me, and I paid him a couple $100. It was just terrible.
Yeah.
It was bad, so I had to take it off.
It's a big ordeal. The website actually is bigger than it seems. So
I need one. I need to go ahead and give me a domain and
Go ahead.
There's a lot of
Karina's gonna hit you up. My friend Karina hit you up.
Yeah, please do.
Well,
I need some
I
help.
didn't check my emails. Maybe they
Need some help.
Karina Lindsay.
I can't look check out these panels.
All right.
I'm gonna get up with you though.
Nice to meet you.
All right,
Yeah,
man.
She handles the back end for us. You know, she just watches the comments. Sometimes she posts some jobs for blog postings. But she's learned how to build websites and WordPress. So I mentioned you.
Yeah, I may be able to point her.
Yeah, just some advice on building. She did the Maker's website. But,
cool.
You know,
I could definitely help her out.
I met her at a meetup actually.
Yeah.
She's from London. And she used to do graphic design magazines. She put magazines for gossip magazines out in London.
Wow.
And she does all the graphic stuff for the magazine now. So she's starting to build some websites because she knows that's where the money's at.
That's where the world's going, man. Yeah, you should need a potential web page built, website built. Let me know. You should get the chance to try that info.
I need a lot of stuff. I need a website. I need cards.
I can help you with the website. Cards can't help you with.
I can help you. I could give you a company to get cards done. Stopandprint.com.
Stop and print.
Can you email that to me since
Stop
I
it.
have to do
Or he can just tell you.
email it. Don't tell me.
But yeah, I do freelance web design stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
What are your rates usually?
My rates are expensive. No, I'm kidding.
Just want to say that on the record.
It really depends what you're looking for, what you need. We may also be able to. I know you do video and editing stuff. So we may also be able to work out some kind of payment and barter type of situation too.
Well,
so.
you know, something really simple. Just Kevin Wilson Jr.
Yeah, and like
just some
give a video,
stuff.
like a reel.
Yeah, just put my reel up there. You know, some information.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of links. You know.
Pretty straightforward. You ever thought about? You ever thought about using Tumblr?
I haven't. I don't have a Tumblr.
Tumblr's free. You get your name. It will be, your name.tumblr.com.
You can make it not say Tumblr.
You could. It's a little technical though. So if you're not, you can do that. So yeah, you could make it, your whole name. It's free. You put up your reel, and then you're done. No freelancer. No. You can all do it. It's real simple. Tumblr's good for that. WordPress.com is good for that also.
WordPress, yeah. I had a blog. I had a blog on WordPress.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You could have used that for like your main site. You know what I mean? And people go there to get up to date about, what's happening, stuff like that.
Cheap. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to just update like what, once
I
a
feel
month
like
or something?
Tumblr especially is good for visual stuff.
Yeah, Tumblr is really good.
For like, photography.
Film, videos. Tumblr's good.
Speaking of film, do you know people who do grant writing and film funding or?
No, but Glad's working on that with Don Ferry.
I am.
So you can circle back with Vladimir. A week or so, maybe you'll have a contact.
I wrote this short script about the genocide in the Congo that I'm trying to get funded.
Wow. It seems like you definitely need a lot of money to bring that to life.
Yeah, I wrote it back in 2009. I've been editing it ever since,
So wait, you shot it? Oh, you mean you're editing the script?
I'm editing the script.
Oh, okay.
So I've been, because I interned in a couple of film companies, so the producers there took looks at it and gave me different things. So it's really kind of crisp and where I want it now. And so really I'm trying to get the funding for it. It's like 18 minutes.
What's the name of that organization
Yeah, I don't know. But some people get into film. They feel like they want to change the landscape. They want to maybe portray things differently or how they view the world. Are you in that same vein? Or did you get into film to what inspired you to do it?
Well, I like to tell stories, and I know that it is a really interesting medium to tell stories through. When I was young, we had this family reunion, and all of my relatives the older relatives had died off. So I made this little short video project when I was down there. I was like 12 years old, and everybody loved it, And I was like, wow, I can really move people through this medium. And so I decided to pursue it after that. And so I did theater for a while. I started doing theater when I was 10.
Mm-hmm.
I directed this play when I was in college about the story of Emmett Till. And it got picked up. We started touring up and down the East Coast. And it made some decent money. And I'm just like, this is something that I definitely want to do.
These are stories you cover, like, actually, you're not looking for like blockbuster type of thing. You're looking for something.
I'm not really. I'm not really a Transformers type of guy.
When you're ready to get in the gutter, hit me up. I got some great ideas. Okay, cheers. I got this idea. I'm gonna once I have the first finance, I'm gonna do this. It's a script based on real life of two middle class guys, one black, one white. They work white collar jobs, regular jobs, and they sell weed on the side. Two co-workers. There's a lot of sex that occurs in the office. There's a lot of drug dealing, like deals going wrong. And since they're both suburban guys, and they're not used to that drug culture, things go awry. So it's like a comedy. It's like a comedy.
Adrian.
There's a couple in the office that have like a 50 years age discrepancy. There's of course the hot and spicy Latina role, who's hot and spicy, and people think that's how she gets ahead, but in actuality she's really super intelligent and she's very not as she portrays herself. Then there's the quintessential, other stereotypes there. But at the end of the day, it's like a buddy comedy. It's like, black guy, white guy, buddy comedy,
right,
et cetera, et cetera. For those watching the stream, do not take that idea.
I was going to say, is this on?
No, it's on. It's all right. Because ideas are a dime a dozen. It's the execution.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the show. I haven't thought of a clever name yet. But I just thought maybe Bud Buddies, because of Bud and Weed, Bud Buddies.
The Adrian Show.
Yeah. So yeah, man, let me know. You want to get in the gutter and make $1 million? Hit me up.
Hey, no, I'm serious. And that's why I want to go to NYU versus
Speaking
USC.
of which, it's a great transition. I mentioned a friend of mine who's at Tisch now. So she wrote this play, and it's basically she was inspired by the Trayvon Martin case, and basically it talks about the parallels between Emmett Till, Amadou Diallo,
You should have girls in here just so people can see us, please. Come on,
take a seat like that.
Oh boy.
Take a seat.
I'm going to be in the live stream.
I'm going to go check out the health panel real quick.
All right.
Be back.
I think there's only a global one, and whatever. Go ahead.
I'll be back.
So a friend of mine wrote a play for Tisch School of the Arts called Outcry. And it basically talked about the parallels between Emmett Till, Amadou Diallo, Trayvon Martin, and Sean Bell. And so, her and some other students, put on this play for 2 nights or whatever. This was like, talking to you again about resources. They gave her, a platform to do it. She booked the room in Tisch. And yesterday's showing was the last showing, and afterwards Nicole Bell was there. She told me she knew that she was coming, but it was like, the play was emotional by itself, but afterwards, my friend was like, I just want to thank you guys for coming. I just want you guys to know that, Nicole Bell is here. And it was like, people were like crying and like, so.
Yeah, I mean,
that type of movement comes from doing things of substance.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, like when I was doing the Emmett Till
that
story,
type of emotional connection to art,
and that's why I do what I do. I don't like to waste talent and waste time,
right.
I was saying when I was doing the Emmett Till story, one of Emmett's cousins actually was in
really?
the audience. Yeah, the second year that we did it. And I got to talk to him afterwards, and he said that he could barely watch, and he was turning around and screaming.
Well, we had that conversation too. We were like, there's been some time passed, so it's like, people feel obligated, you're telling a story about their life somewhat, and, but it's like, does it like reopen the wound? Does this help you? Like, to, when the world keeps talking about this stuff, you never really know. I always wonder that.
I don't think it helps the family, but I think it helps society. You know what I mean? To have these stories still around, and so that we still are aware of what happened. The Emmett Till story, wasn't he with a group of friends when that happened?
He was with his cousins. Emmett was from Chicago, and he visited the South for the first time when he was 14.
Right.
And he was with 3 cousins, Maurice, Simeon, and Wheeler, Parker Jr. And they all were down in Money, Mississippi Now, obviously, we know about the Jim Crow laws. It's
Right.
very different from the North. There was no way that Emmett could have really understood or known what was going on in the South,
Right.
having not been there.
Right.
So he went down, and they were at a store,
Whistled.
and allegedly whistled.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too.
The
Like,
thing about that was
Yeah.
that Emmett had polio, and it caused a really, really intense stutter. And what his mother trained him to do, because he couldn't get his words out, was whistle so that he could get his
Oh,
words
that
out.
I didn't know.
So it was an alleged past, alleged
Ah.
whistle, at the woman. We really don't know what happened while they were in the store.
Yeah.
All we know is from Carolyn Bryant, was the woman's name, her testimony in court,
Right.
which obviously
Right.
could have been manipulated.
Right.
So it was a really sad situation. I mean, they were looking for trouble from this young, because Emmett was big. He really didn't say yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. He's from the
And being
north.
from the north, yeah.
Right. And
Right.
they were like, "We're going to show this. We're going to teach him a lesson."
Right.
And that's the sad reality of the climate of the South during that time. And that's just.
Yeah, this play, I mean, she did really good research because, like,
What's the name of this play again? For those?
Outcry is the name of the play. I'm not sure if it's going to be repurposed to be bigger, but it was a great student play at NYU's Tisch School of the Arts. Yeah, I mean, she really did her research, and there were details about, like, Amadou and it that I didn't know. Like, you get a lot of the sound bites from news media and the magazines and stuff, but, like, the stuff that they did to Emmett Till, like, I thought I knew most of the details. I really didn't know all of the stuff. It was really crazy. But yeah, it was just like the fact that like Nicole came and stuff. It was great. Yeah.
I saw something yesterday where they have these Trayvon Martin hoodies with like the Public Enemy sticker where they have like the police officer and the crosshairs,
Right.
or whatever like that. So it's like the whole hoodie mixed with the whole Public Enemy symbol, or whatever like that. So it's very interesting. Dichotomy.
That hoodie movement was interesting.
Yeah, and it's funny now. It's like kind of resurging. Now they're all like, Mark Zuckerberg wears a hood. I'm like,
Mark Zuckerberg's husband.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so stupid. Yeah, I don't understand.
What was that about? Like,
yeah, I don't know. It's dumb.
Who cares?
I think what they were trying to say is that Trayvon Martin is black. He wears a hoodie, he gets shot.
Right.
Mark Zuckerberg is a nerd and he's white and he's a billionaire. He gets away with wearing a hoodie.
Right.
And they're actually saying when the actual Facebook stock IPOs in late May, that they're saying he's actually going to be there in his famous hoodie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not in support of Trayvon Martin because he wears hoodies.
Because he wears hoodies. Right.
Yeah, right.
Because everyone wears hoodies. I wear hoodies to the laundromat.
You got to be careful.
Everybody wears hoodies.
You got to be careful on the hoodie, man. That is no joke.
They're comfortable.
It was raining outside.
I know.
It was raining the day that Trayvon Martin
Oh,
was killed.
right. And I find that's when I wear my hoodie the most too. When it's
Right.
like sprinkling but not raining, I
I
just
do
throw
believe
on my
people wear
hoodie.
hoods when it rains outside.
Yeah.
I hope.
Remember when Geraldo Rivera was like, he's urging all
Oh
black
yes,
and
to
Latino-
stop wearing. But you know what? And people were really mad at. I understand both sides of that story because that is something an older generation person would say.
He's like,
it's
I
like don't fight it, just
please
assimilate.
don't
Yeah,
wear
yeah.
hoodies.
Don't fight, just assimilate. Like that is that very much 50 plus thinking. You know what I mean? Like no, you know older people in your family are like, don't fight the
Yeah, he
man,
was
don't fight
he was
him.
well intentioned.
Yeah,
Step off
yeah.
the sidewalk.
But I think the point that people were mad at is he was just like, no, this shouldn't be an issue. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's not okay. Why should we have to? Oh, I'm not gonna wear my hoodie. Why should I not feel safe? You know, like.
Yeah.
So that's what people are mad at is because it's like it's almost like you're just accepting that that's the way it is, and so that's the way it has to be, and it shouldn't be that way. But
I know this world is coming too, but I do know that we have to capture it.
yeah.
We have to capture and put it in the capsule.
All right.
You know, and that's why I love doing what I do.
Yeah. I think on Sudan sounds cool.
Actually,
But it sounds like it does sound like high production costs. Like, cause are you gonna travel
Oh,
there?
the
and,
Congo.
like-
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the Congo.
Well, it just depends. You ready? We were planning to see. I have this guy who I do a lot of my stuff with, and he had this production designer, and she has a swamp in Savannah. In back of her house. So we were going to build
Savannah, Georgia?
Mhm. We were gonna build the Congo
Okay.
there, but then we were thinking. I'm like, It really depends because I'm going to Kenya next year in the summer
okay.
to do because we actually went a couple of years ago, a group of friends and I with the theater group to do some acting workshops and things there for the students, and we donated some things. So we're going back next year to teach them how to shoot and edit so that they can learn how to tell their own stories of their own community.
Right.
But I was thinking of trying to hook up with the people who sponsored that trip and who funded that trip to do what we're going to do for the Congo. Obviously, we can't go to the Congo. It's huge conflicts on there, but there are some bordering countries that we'd like to go to.
Right. Just with a lot of people, you get as close as you can get.
Money is an issue. Always.
Money's always an issue, right? Have you ever a creative project?
It's terrible. You know, this thing has been. I've been trying to raise money for years.
Yeah.
Like Spike, how Spike Lee is like, damn, what the fuck? I funded this podcast.
It was an interview for Red Hook Summer, right?
Yeah, for Red Hook Summer. They were like, it was Chris Rock. Chris Rock asked a question, and Chris Rock was like, Spike, like, what if, Hollywood was gonna throw some money behind this, whatever. And Spike Lee was like, yeah. Spike Lee was like, Chris, you know better than that. He's like, what's the white man gonna tell me about being a black man in Brooklyn? What are you gonna tell me?
Spike Lee started cursing.
Yeah.
He was yelling and screaming.
But he feels it, like that's how deep he feels about what he's doing. That he's cussing out his boy, Chris Rock.
Wow.
Chris, you know better than that, Chris. I was dying. You're like, what they gonna tell me about being a black kid in Brooklyn? What they gonna tell me?
He's right. He's
So
they tried to get him to do the right thing in the back lot in Hollywood.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess that's what he's constantly brought up against is that maybe he would get more, he doesn't want to relinquish the creative control. And that's probably what, once if they cash the checks, they're going to start wanting to tweak things.
I think everyone has to go through that.
Yeah,
all the directors,
sure.
you know what I mean?
Sure.
It's only when you get like a big name budget. I mean, when you have a big name, you can start negotiating stuff like that.
Right.
But even as we saw George Lucas, the man who created the most successful film franchise of all time, even he had trouble getting it.
Yeah.
You ever
thing
thought
about
about
Red Tails is that
did you see it?
I did see it. It was okay, but people need to understand that was George Lucas. Yeah, he produced the film, but it was directed by a black guy,
right.
Hemingway, and it was his first time out. And so
that's a good look for him. Yeah.
We got somebody.
Yeah, Josh Vega.
All right.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Good talk.
You're right over here, sir.
All right.
How you doing?
Pretty good, man.
Kevin.
Pleasure.
My part.
Adrian.
Matt.
Oh, yeah. Let me get out your way. Sorry about that.
Yeah, serious.
Sit right here in the hot seat.
All right. This is good preparation,
Nothing like doing it live.
Yeah, we're live with Mr. Vernon Jones on 45.tv. Second annual Rising Affluent Conference. What's going on?
Pretty good. I mean, oh man, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Tell everybody a little about yourself.
Well, started in real estate when I was 17, fresh out of prep school, and I didn't want to work in a movie theater. Didn't want to work in a supermarket, so I figured, why not try something where I could be a little bit of an entrepreneur and have something going. And then 2 years later, I got offered a job as an asset manager for a real estate management firm in Manhattan, and then moved my way up the ranks, and then 2 years later went to acquisitions. So we were buying multifamily properties in Manhattan, and through that whole transition, I started a company. I saw that there was an underserving of media in the real estate realm as far as video is concerned. So I created a video production company for the real estate niche. Created that, and this August quit my job and went for it full-fledged, and that's
how's it been going?
Yeah, oh man, it's amazing. I mean, what I found.
Yeah, talk to us about your transition, because you're talking to a lot of entrepreneurs this afternoon. So talk to us about your transition from that.
It's a scary transition. Number one, fear you have to take that out of your mind. It's nothing. You can't be afraid of anything. It's more of you don't have that cushion of a monthly paycheck anymore. So you got to figure out, how am I going to make this happen? And the way I see it happening
is finding people, creating a tribe of people who have the same passion as you do, and who might have those resources that you're looking for. Once you have that, they see your passion, they like it. You're going to make it happen no matter what. It's not a if it's going to happen. It is going to happen no matter what.
And so, for my own edification, tell us your business model. Like tell us a little about your company.
Okay, well, like I said, when I was an agent, I was doing video productions for my clients.
Right.
And my broker, who I was working for, he said, why are you reinventing the wheel? What is this? Just take photos. We don't need video. Yeah. So at that point, I quit working with him. I was like, screw that. This is more about it's such a necessity when it comes to SEO, search engine optimization for video production. And this is what I teach my clients right now. And what we do is we videotape development sites, brokers' company profiles, and then we have a platform which is our site, liveopenhouse.tv or LOH.tv, where they can showcase their company, showcase their properties through video, and we send out email blasts to 160,000 real estate professionals. So it's very niche, and then everybody is in the same realm, and we.
So you're the point person for a company who wants to kind of advertise their business to that network.
Correct, 100%. And it goes even further than that. We've in the past year we've been developing a software. We're trying to catch people in three different platforms, which is online, mobile, and on the street. And how we're thinking about doing it on the street? Well, we're doing it. We're launching on June 28th a touchscreen. It's called LOH Vision. Okay. What it does is it allows pedestrians to interact with the brokerage via a touchscreen on their window. So even after business hours, the broker can still stay connected with their potential clients. Especially in New York, you're spending about $5,000 a month on rent just for your space. Right. So after the hours are done, you've got no more. There's no way for you to connect with your client.
Right.
So that's one of the things that we're doing. I'm excited about that, man.
That's awesome.
I'm excited.
So what are some of the main points that you want to get across today to the audience?
Well, I mean, I don't want to digress, but what I want to talk about today is about investing, pulling money together to invest in real estate. That's my passion. That's what really gets me going. And what I've done is I created a group of young, black, hungry guys. Yeah. We're all professional. It's 5 of us, and we pooled our money together and started buying property in Detroit. Wow. And we had a lot of haters. People were like, "You going to Detroit? You're crazy. You got a bulletproof vest." So we said, "All right, screw that. We're still gonna make it happen." Yeah. We made it happen. I mean, Friday marked our first payment that we got from awesome. Buyers. Very nice. So, congrats. Oh, thanks. But I mean, in New York, in Manhattan, I from being in acquisitions, I understand that the balance sheets, cash is king right now. So unless you have $7 million liquid, you're not going to get a good deal in New York. So why would we do that when we can go to a market where 10 years later we're going to see a crazy uptick? Right. And so you're ahead of the curve. Ahead of the curve. And that's the way we have to think as a people, and don't think, oh, I can't do it. It's going to be too much. Right. It's not gonna happen. You can do it, and it's not too much. Okay. So that's what you're gonna get across. That's what I want to talk about today. Awesome, that's what gets me like. I have to sneak into that panel, man. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, thank you for having me. No doubt, man. Vernon Jones. Glad I'm here. No doubt. See you later, man. All right, cool.
I was on NYU had this panel on gentrification, and that's pretty much what they were saying. They were just like, in order for there to be middle-class black communities again, we need to go into places that the white folks are going to go to first. They're like, what always happens is the white people go there first, and it's like, it's safe now, and then the black people go, and then, the white people move again, and like that's happening in places like, Harlem and Bed-Stuy. You see the gentrification, it's like, they're not afraid to go.
So we have to be the first to go to places like Detroit and Baltimore where there's a big opportunity there, you know what I mean? In order to balance out what's going on there. And it helps the neighborhood too in order for it to keep that cultural richness, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, people are too afraid to go and, you know, you work hard so you don't have to live in a bad neighborhood. And so it's like a catch-22, you know?
It's crazy. What's up?
Hi.
What you been up to?
I finally ate.
Oh,
that's why she's so happy.
We ordered this blend chicken sandwich.
It made
they
me
forgot the
smile.
honey mustard sauce.
Oh.
So I had chicken and lettuce and bread.
Oh, that's
You
unfortunate.
could use some of that mustard. It was on these little packets.
I asked the guy, I was like, where's some mustard? He's like, we don't have any more. Where'd y'all get Perrier water?
Outside.
Outside?
Yeah, it just
Because he's fancy.
Oh, you mean in the hall?
Yeah, where we had the little
fancy
the food earlier.
I didn't see that. I saw
They just put it out.
Oh, you mean Faculty House?
Who's this? This not?
Yo, no,
That's
it was
what I'm
mine.
saying.
You said what? Faculty House what?
Water's not good enough for you.
I like a little pop in my water.
A little pop fancy. It's so fun. I had 2 sodas today. Never. I don't drink soda.
That's how it is when you see it, you gotta have it.
Yeah, that's how I've
Well,
been
they didn't
drinking.
have any bottled water. Now they do.
Yeah, they put it out.
When you see it, you gotta have it.
Perrier. They ain't pay me, but they
Turn that thing away from the camera. Unless they want to invest.
Brands. I don't see no. Is there early sponsoring?
No.
See.
Black out that label.
Yeah, they were sponsoring that hair and makeup on set.
Right. That day will come.
Yeah, some.
Really?
One day, some.
Very soon. 2 years. It'll be that's the hair and makeup on set. Oh, yo.
That'll be fun. So you said you got shot on the rooftop?
No, he wants to do a closing on the balcony.
Alright, cool.
I know. I just don't know if we should interview somebody on the balcony because it doesn't flow.
Nah, it wouldn't fit.
Yeah, it wouldn't fit and it wouldn't flow.
But the clothes made
Thank you so
Because
much.
it should be
for
fun.
joining us
Yeah,
at
it should
Crib
be fun.
Magazine.
Yeah, it should be fun. Definitely.
Jump into a pool.
Thank you so much for joining us at Crib Magazine.
And
Again.
you haven't seen the video yet.
Of what?
Of the rebirth, because Ron, remember Ron that was there?
Oh, yes.
He's the one who's editing that video. But Kevin's gonna edit this video.
Yeah.
Ron's been crazy busy with Jerry Springer, so that's why.
Jerry, he works for Jerry Springer.
Yeah, he shoots
He shoots for Jerry Springer.
in Connecticut.
And shit was in Chicago?
I think it's in Connecticut.
They filmed in Connecticut.
I can't believe Jerry Springer's still in the air.
That's what I said. I was like, so have I. I've been thinking it's reruns all this time. They still
I'm thinking he's like putting together
new
reruns.
trash. They still producing new trash.
Adrian Grant, what's up? Everything good?
Steve?
Yeah, I was trying to
Steve
grab
Jones.
people there networking now. The section just broke out and everyone's like
They
busted
still
up.
selling people them same stories.
428.
And that new guy does it too.
You work out?
Jeremy something.
So I'll do a few push-ups.
On Channel 9.
You are
Do you
not
have
the
dumbbells?
father.
Do you go to the
Jeremy
gym?
can't
Yeah, in my
He
apartment.
goes
complex,
down
I
on
have a
people. He's like, look,
Okay,
man,
so do you work out
hear
there?
that?
Yeah. What do you do?
This little British accent.
bunch of routines. So I try to be focused. You know, like throughout the week, everything from back, abs,
Okay, so you break it up.
I break it up.
You break it up.
Okay, it's good. Yeah, I'm just starting to get back into it. So yeah,
The
put my muscle back up. You heard?
this
Are you guys talking about more manly things,
Yes,
like how to look better?
Yes, we are. Trying to kill some time here.
Somebody just put me onto this really good app, the Nike Trainer app on your iPhone. It's free, and they have a lot of great exercises.
We're taking,
That's good.
we're taking
Really?
relaxation.
I'm searching right now.
Between one and the Yes.
Perrier water.
I heard somebody talking about that. Is it in real time, or it's like they recorded exercises and you could just follow the exercises?
Yeah, that's good.
I know, so good.
Are they still filming?
Yeah, we are live.
Vladimir, you are a go-getter. You've been filming all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took
We
a couple
never
breaks.
stopped, hit stop
So
yet.
like, you can see here, you could
So we just had all
It's like
sorts
an
of
8-hour live stream.
That's what that obnoxious.
Yeah, I thought I was talking to this.
You're gonna have to fast forward to see your interview, guys.
Yeah,
I'm just letting you know that.
Well, they had a good conversation, you know, with dating in New York and all that kind of stuff.
Y'all talk about that?
What's that?
No, we talked.
We talked. I'm
But
sure.
you
I'm
guys
sure the
had
audio
camera.
was on
We
camera.
already had the camera facing us.
No,
No.
they want us
here,
to.
but
But the
that was a good conversation.
That was funny.
You guys should do that more often on the way 45. No, seriously.
I
you
would
got-
love to talk about travesties today.
Travesty.
You get a little upper
Travesty.
Travesties.
Yeah, you gotta close
It
it
would
with
be
like
interesting to get like
good
a
remark.
single woman's
But
perspective
in the
on.
end, hope is still alive.
Yeah.
There are some wonderful men in New York City. I just come in contact with the travesties. Hopefully tomorrow.
I feel like you can pick different things and say you want to say get
Or you
strong.
probably get such a quick following,
Whatever
be
like
like,
that. So
yes, like,
Exactly.
Exactly.
Travesties in dating in New York City.
All the
It's
tweets would
actually
be
built
like,
for
yeah,
women because
girl.
that starts like super dope.
You know, it's not a horrible
And so like
thing,
it breaks it down,
though.
so
Like, I
you
don't
hit like the
mind
music,
it.
whatever like
Because I
that.
meet a
And so
lot
like
of
it actually walks you through it.
Yeah,
And
that's
like
true.
And
let's
it's
say
variety. Like one day you could be hanging out.
so there's pictures of what the
let's do
actual
another
exercises,
day.
but it's also
Let's do,
video.
like I read, it's funny. I read
Really?
my
It's
sister.
fun.
It is fun.
But
So
then
you make sure
you
you're
go
doing it
across
correctly.
travesties.
Does it have with weight training too? Like with weight
Yeah. So they have that
Life
ways
is
too.
life in New York.
So like some of these exercises have
Everything about
different.
it.
That
parts.
is a powerful
But
act.
see, I'll take it.
So that's
because
a
So you
over,
said-
like, no
so
disrespect to
dumbbells,
your
right? And
county,
so
but
like this right here.
your county, PG.
Like this is dope.
But when I was down there, I think
It's
I
like
dated
cheaper.
one girl
Wow.
guy in my whole 4 years there. I was like, I can't.
And what I do also
And
too, so I
the
do
thing
this
I was
like
mad about was that
once in a while. But I'm trying to get into is actually
coming
this
from New York,
program.
you know, you have a
I'm working
certain
on to. It's
skills
like
look that you're attracted to, usually for New York.
I'm semi going to do this because I really want to focus full time on doing it because it's like a whole diet and exercise routine where it's like you consume a lot of protein. It's like gives a cycle off. It's like a 12-week program. It's like a lot of protein. It's a lot of working out. It's like
exactly for guys.
eat basically chicken and steak for the most part. But it's really good at like increasing muscle mass. No other sugar
That's the same thing as runners. Guys who were
So.
little losers.
But I gotta, it requires an entire diet. So that's, I've been eyeing that, whatever like that.
Especially if they're Southern gentlemen. It's like
And this is called, what is it called?
That particular program?
No, this
this one's called
Nike ID?
no, it's Nike Train.
Nike Train.
Yeah, and it may actually ask you to be connected to Wi-Fi when you do it because it takes up like 100 megabytes. It's a lot. Because you can have a lot of videos. But yeah, Nike Trainer man, is free.
Okay.
But you know what? I come across a lot of New York guys that
Close
are
up cheap
gentlemen.
one right here.
Like that are like manly. One thing about New York guys is that like men from New York, some of them do have.
Can you sit here, please, if you don't mind, so that people can get this?
Huh?
Do you mind sitting here? You're gonna be doing this every Tuesday anyway.
Huh?
When you go on 45, you're gonna.
Oh, I'm doing Tuesday segment, the travesties.
I don't like. Let me get my bottle.
We're gonna create a personality out of you.
Huh?
We're gonna create a personality out of you.
What does it be called? The
What?
travesties.
Is she
Travesties.
okay?
Everyday dating.
Everyday dating. You know what? I would love to
Everyday
chronicle
dating.
my dating experiences.
Jessica
on
Ford,
camera.
Just move in a little bit.
I would watch it.
Everyday dating.
Would you all watch me talk about my dating? That would have been a travesty.
That would be a travesty.
That would have been a travesty.
I would watch
it's like a travesty.
No, you can hold it. You can stay right there. Just hold on.
You would watch it?
I would absolutely watch it.
Okay, look. We got one like, one like.
Glad, can you like twist it and make it tighter?
We should be good.
No, we're not. Glad, fix the.
How did that happen? Did I do it?
No.
Patrice is like, yeah, you did it.
No, you know what it is? It might need to be tightened, Glad. Like.
Now, in other news.
yeah. Pay no attention to what's going on right there.
We will get back to
Oh,
this.
there we go.
Very good.
All right.
The travesties of step and repeats.
Mm-hmm.
No, would you like it though on Facebook?
Everyday life.
Yeah.
So we're gonna call it.
So,
Okay.
what would you be talking about on this particular?
Now, if I had a show,
Yeah.
it would be funny.
Yeah.
Number one, it would be comedy.
Yeah.
I would probably create a couple experiences to see if some extra oomph.
Yeah. You should steal your friends'
The
experiences.
perspectives of a girl who's new to New York, dating in New York City. I mean, I've been here a year.
Yeah.
And I had 26 years.
I didn't
somewhere
know
else.
you were that
So give
fresh
us-
off the boat.
So give us a story, give us an experience, something that you can share that you feel would be insightful or enlightening or funny about your story. Just say.
The first guy that I met and decided to go, not even out with, I was a little bit nervous because he seemed a little bit,
What?
I don't know, crazy, right?
People just spelled it out crazy.
He had an argument with me.
How is he even a potential date?
He wasn't a date. He said, let's hang out, right? Because when he called or texted or whatever, we got into some type of war over what school is better, Howard or UNC. And I mean, I'm like, sir, Howard,
Right,
I mean, he's like, but your sports suck. And I'm like, but I don't go to school for sports. I'm kind of a girl. I'm kind of went there for education. But UNC's a great school. I have nothing against UNC. But he just gets so emotional. And so when he wanted to hang out, I said to my homegirl, I said, I need you to come along just a little bit, just want to see what this is all about.
That's a turnoff for a guy. He wanted to go hang out with you.
No, I'm not talking about my homegirl was going to come and have a guy. It was cool.
Oh,
it
like
was
a
just to
double
watch the
date.
game, right? It wasn't nothing major.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't want this to be romantic in any way. I just want to hang out and make friends in New York. That was my mentality.
Not him.
She
said not him.
No,
I said
he
not
is
him.
a travesty. That's
Can I speak for the guy? Can I speak for the guy for a second? I don't think a guy is out looking for female friends.
we was just hanging out watching the game.
Still,
But
I'm always
that was the
seen
terms
it.
of
Okay.
me going out with him. Because I knew if somebody's going to argue with me or have a text war about UNC versus Howard,
With a girl?
yeah, that's kind of weird. So I was like, let me bring my
But
homegirl
maybe he
out
thought
to
she was
something
into
to do.
sports. Maybe he thought she was into sports. That's why he wanted to do that.
No, he was crazy. He was crazy. Okay. So I just wanted to go out because I had nothing to do. I just moved to New York. I'm like, I need something to do.
Right.
So my homegirl and I went. Somehow he got mad because somebody offered him a drink, like the bartender.
Mm-hmm.
I don't drink water. Okay.
He said, I don't drink water?
I don't drink water. He got mad, right? I don't drink alcohol. I only drink water. So we're like, we're so sorry. Keep it moving. He was crazy. So it was normal.
Right.
And then he brings back up UNC. Howard.
That just sounds like a weird guy.
No, he's very weird. But this is like the first time I hung out with any man
Yeah.
in university. I have no idea. I don't even remember because I was so traumatized by this experience. I can't think of where it started. I don't want to.
That guy sounds weird. He doesn't even sound like
No, he went off on me though.
Yeah.
Like he called me a bird,
Yeah.
told me I was young and I'm stupid, and I actually made a really good friend because of that situation. This guy named Al, who's a good friend of mine, was sitting on the other side of him at the bar. He goes, "Hey man, so you went to UNC? Oh, did you like it? Yeah." Just kind of deflect because the bartender was coming over. He told the bartender, "You better watch it." To the bartender, right?
Who is this guy?
His name is Nino.
It sounds
Nino Brown.
His last name is all I know.
sounds like you're attracted to nut job.
Oh yeah, no,
Nino Brown.
but I don't know this Nino's like.
Yeah.
Could very well be same personality.
No, Nino Brown was not like that. Nino Brown
I
was
missed
a
that
gangster.
story, so
Nino Brown
This
was
guy
not.
seemed gangster-ish.
No, he seemed like a
That's
psychopath.
weird. No, he was weird. That's
No,
weird.
he was like steroided to the nines, like he got so
Where
bad.
did you meet this guy?
I don't remember because I was so traumatized of being called a bird. I've never been called a bird in my life. I didn't know what a bird was. I thought it was an animal. I don't know. I was like, what is a bird?
Why is he calling me for a dude?
I'm like, I turned my back, right? He talking to the back of my head. My friend was like, just look at me. Just look at me. Don't even pay attention. I'm looking at her like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, so man, UNC? Yeah, good basketball team,
Yeah.
And he left, and then me and Al became good friends. Like,
That's nice.
he's just like, so yeah, it served the purpose,
Maybe you
we
should
call
stop
her.
looking for crazy guys.
No, after that, I never dealt with another crazy. I did deal with some very interesting characters, though. I've been on such a city is amazing. It was the personalities and the people, the mentality. Like, I've never had a person 5 years older than me tell me that they're young. I'm like, but wow, I don't call myself young. I mean, I'm young-ish, but I'm getting old. I'm
Right.
27. I'm getting older. I'm not under 25.
So it's a guy that was in his 30s that told you.
He goes, I'm not looking to settle down. I'm still young.
It's like, dude, what do you think
What do you think? You gonna live till 200 or something?
Yeah,
What's going on?
clearly
For guys,
BC.
that's
Wait, how old is he? It's not
30.
But I would never, as a man, admit
Say that I'm young, because it
young
makes it sound like he's immature.
young-minded.
Right.
Right? Because when I heard that, I heard
He's still
young-minded.
playing the field. He's still, he's not ready to settle down.
I was like, you young.
Yeah, that sounds like denial.
It does sound like kindergarten.
He's not.
Every guy is holding out for the fact they think they're gonna run into Kim Kardashian or something one day. And no, but I'm just saying that guys. No, this is the thing.
I'm not waiting for no damn Kim Kardashian.
No, I'm saying that hypothetically, that guys think they're missing out on, like they think that there's a wealth of opportunity for them, and it's really
They want to sow the seeds.
Well, that's what I'm
They're not
saying.
waiting for Kim Kardashian.
No, but
They're
that's
waiting
what I'm
for-
saying. Sow the seeds, but they're thinking that they have access to more than they really do.
No.
This is what I tell guys. When you're 45, the 27-year-old is not going to want
That's what I'm
If
saying.
you have
That's
money,
my point.
if you
That's
have
my
money,
point.
she will.
Quality 27-year-old, because I'm 27.
I don't care about quality.
And
You think
guys don't care about
You think these rich guys on these sites with these Russian brides, they care about quality?
Let me tell you something. I do not want wrinkly balls.
That's a deal breaker right there.
Live on Wake Up TV.
I had a 50-year-old.
This is a preview.
We just did.
Wrinkly balls.
Oh, this segment?
No, I mean
this segment.
and this is the actual
Fast forward. Okay, go ahead.
No, get this.
Wrinkly.
If you want to hear something, you're gonna have to fast forward to about 4:41.
In case you guys haven't noticed, this live stream is for people 18 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This 50-year-old.
We need some
I see on
mature
Facebook.
relationship content. It's in her.
I don't understand 50-year-old men that write people on Facebook and say, you're cute.
Isn't it creep? I've been noticing not only 50-year-old, like friends of, like, I'll be like seeing who's the connection, like, why is this person friending me? And it's like my aunt's friend, or like a preachers. I've like reverends are like poking me, and like, and I'm just like,
yeah, when you're poked by a 55-year-old
yeah, minister, I'm like looking at your profile picture, you got the collar on. I'm like, you ain't trying to take me to church. I know that's for sure.
You're not trying to take me to the pew.
Exactly. I'm like, you ain't poking me because I missed Sunday service. I don't know what's going on.
You know what I blame for that? I actually blame you women for that.
What?
For having attractive profile
F
pictures.
that. F that. No, guys.
If you don't want attention,
look,
put it up.
guys will get off on the
Don't be
forehead,
attractive,
okay?
that's right. Put up a cartoon image. You don't want attention.
Put up the Zodiac.
Yeah. Put up
No,
a school.
it doesn't matter. Guys will get hot and bothered over anything. You put a picture of your bang and the guys, oh, that bang made me so hot.
Yo, bro, she has her elbow out.
Exactly. So that's bull crap.
kid you
And I
not,
never
that
put
actually
any
does
sexually like. Come on, I'm grown. I don't
Guys
know.
do share that stuff. Just FYI, guys do share that stuff. Like when like there's a nice picture on Facebook
Of a
guys will
dimple?
share- Oh,
Of a dimple. Look at that dimple.
It's looking at me.
yeah, no guys share it. Guys like, yo, we gotta check this out. I'm like, all right, cool.
Check out her dimple. You got it on the right. You only got one.
Click on that link, sir. No
Clicking
problem.
on dimples?
Dimple.com.
Or Google.edu. So okay, so that was a crazy one. I've had some interesting experiences. I mean,
Is it black guys?
These are black guys.
Yeah.
I can't get down.
Do you only date black guys, or would you date outside of your race? What's your thoughts on that?
I've thought about it, but can I really date outside my race? I don't think so. I'm just attracted to what I'm attracted to, and that's just that.
That's fine.
A lot of girls say, I am done with black men. I'm like, more for me. Girl, go ahead and get you Swedish something. I encourage you to go. It makes the pool smaller, of women. But no, speaking of women though, okay, vultures.
Yeah.
Vultures.
Talking about relationships again. Last time we was here, we were talking about relationships.
Yeah. No, but it's an interesting city. I mean, I think the dynamic is funny. I think it's like the roles have changed. It was like the girls are chasing the guys are like the guys are being like girls. And then me, like when I come along, it's like, I'll flat out say, I'm not chasing you, like honey, like.
And you were happy to serve.
Excuse me. No.
Guys, I
Who's
don't.
charging this? About to use that.
I'm not
Guess
sure.
it's yours now.
Yeah, I mean, we
I
just
just
be
think
in
that
communal with the chargers.
Because there's so many beautiful, successful women in New York.
Right.
Like I'm like, oh, I'm not even gay. There's some pretty girls out here.
No, it's true.
You know, it's like reminds me of being at home, PG County. You know, it's just like
I have no clue what that is.
Prince George's County, Maryland. It's right outside of DC.
Yeah, it's a popular, like, I feel like most black people I meet are from PG County. Yeah, from
How is it in relation to The Wire? That's the only thing I know about that area.
No,
that's Baltimore.
Whoa.
That's a whole different area.
Baltimore is not. No, Baltimore and PG County are not the same.
No, it's not.
Are we still streaming?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're live. So let's get answering phone calls.
Pat, you want to come in the middle so we can just do this?
All right, so what do you want to ask? You want to talk about my relationships, the travesties of my relationships.
I think it'd be interesting to get another single woman's thoughts on this.
I don't like that term.
I'm sorry.
Just call us available.
I try to be like.
All right. These women are readily available. 24/7. Anytime.
Okay, now you put me sale.
Wide open.
They say don't mind it.
What?
Wide open.
You said 24/7, like 7-Eleven.
I was just kidding.
What's 7-Eleven?
People will listen and click through.
Okay, so
So we're talking about your dating experiences in the city, and so we're talking about whether or not you date outside the race and you feel comfortable in regards to that.
I just feel like we don't have enough cultural connection. You know, I'm very into my history and my culture, and you know, I'm a black woman. You know, I get angry when I'm walking around New York, like, oh, I'm not a teacher, like, honey. Black, you know, because I
I'm
don't
so
know.
disappointed too. I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, they get mad.
Yeah.
You know, but what I will say is that I think when you date somebody, you have to have something in common with them. I'm not saying that I wouldn't have something in common with people that are not a part of my race. However, because I so identify with being an African American woman,
It's an easier, like, it's an easier attraction.
Do you think there's such a thing as a good black man?
It is, it's true.
Is that true?
I'm sorry?
Do you think there's something? You know, people say, "Oh, there's no good black man."
Oh, bull. Please.
Oh.
There's plenty of good black men out here. Plenty.
Really?
I just get the
There's no
trust.
one's perfect, but there's no perfect blac woman either, so that's just.
Nobody's perfect, but they're all good, you know, and I
I've been told
believe